Bum bum bum. Nope. Is it C? Default? Yes. Ba-bum. Oh, we do got people here. Let's change common. Hola. Hola. So how is your German Spanish accent? I gotta hear that. That would be so awesome to hear. Hi, Exot. Hi, guys. Hi, Ethereal Dratini. Ethereal Dratini. Ethereal Dratini. Ethereal Dratini. Ethereal Dratini. Ethereal Dratini. Creeper 16. Oh. Is that what we're going to call you? Creeper 16. That's how I read that. KPR. How about that? Does that sound better? My German accent is in English. You have a German English accent. Always looking forward to these days. It is Friday. And for many of you, it is the evening. So I said, what the hell? We'll just put a moon on. I love this. I got to tell you, this is one of my favorite all-time backgrounds. And you know me, I need to be calmed down very frequently. Hey, how's it going, Zeros? Master of this. Oh, I love calm. Of course, we're going to be doing the VimRC today. All the more reason to be calm. Just relax. I'm like practicing the chill. I did my yoga yesterday. Some nice date with my wife, sort of as much as you can in the COVID crisis. One plus your live stream. I tried to catch up on your videos yesterday, but I only got to watch one plus your live stream. That's fine. As I've said before, you just come when you can. I'm just putting this out there. I have had some changes, so I'm going to talk about this when we officially begin in 7 minutes. But I've decided we're going to do a full day on tmux on Monday. We're going to do an entire day about tmux, and we're going to get into the configuration. I'm going to show you how to use it. Tmux and screen will be the topic. And I realize some of these things are out of order, and I've actually been in the process of redoing the order for the next boost based on lessons we've learned. We can't go back and redo, the first week again completely. But I think tmux deserves a full day. I think Vim deserves 2 full days, one to learn how to use it and the other one to learn how to configure it. And by the way, all of this goes with what is in the book. The book is all about environment configuration right now. So these are just deep dives into configurations of your terminal experience. And let Emacs control Z shell comments not bother you because you're a calm ocean above all. I have to remember that. If I didn't have yoga, I don't know what I would be. I would be a raging maniac. I actually rewatched the Mr. Robot finale today, which I will not discuss at all, other than to say that he and I share a lot of things in common, Elliot and I. So let's go here. VI common. What was I trying to do? Oh, I was fixing tmux. That's right. And that is in what? I don't know. I don't remember which one it's in. Scripts shell. That's very, yeah, I know. Yeah, it worries me too. No. Let's go here in a good way. I mean, yeah. But let's just say life is not a box of chocolates. Life is a series of many different lives, all happening one after the other. Think back about that. How radically different your lifetimes have been, even in the single lifetime that you have right now. How many different yous have there been? I love that. I love that idea. All right, because you're not the same person you were 5 years ago. In fact, you're not physically the same person you were 7 years ago. All your shells have been changed out. I want my unicorn fairy tale. Lie to me. Ignorance is bliss. I just picture you eating the steak. You're going to grow a goatee, El Ramingo? And then you're going to go kill Dozer? Is that the next thing you're going to do? Matrix references. I'm dating myself. We have 4 minutes to kill. What would you say I must learn tech right now? What would you say is the must learn tech? Well, ensure I kick the door down at those tech companies. That's a good question. I asked that same question, so that's why I'm thinking about it seriously here. Take Dozer, it's a toss-up. Yeah. That's a good question. What is the single thing you could do to kick the door down at most tech companies? That's the trick part of the question, because the answer, yeah, I don't know about C#. When you say most tech companies, the problem with that is that includes the FANG companies and the small mom and pop companies. So when you think about what is, honestly, I mean, it's not an exaggeration to say I obsess about this question myself, because whatever it is, everybody needs to learn it if they want to call themselves a technologist today. I will say, this is kind of a cop-out, but I will say coding. The Deus Group, his Zionist agenda. I would say coding. Now, what language? I've already picked those languages. The reason I'd say coding is because, for example, the system administration title is kind of passé and not cool. And I wrote a lot about that in my review of the book that Google wrote, the non-book that Google wrote, the collection of essays that Google wrote, stating the obvious and giving it a new title. And the obvious is this: a system administrator is not as important as a system administrator who codes. So what that tells me is that in the technical field, coding has now permeated every nook and cranny of it, including systems administration, which in the old days you could get away with doing without knowing how to code. Do I have a footprint in Go? No, because I know who made it. Ken Thompson has nothing to do with Google other than he was employed by him for a while. Rob Pike has nothing to do with Google. If anything, they have more to do with MIT. Brian Cantrell calls them the Bell Labs refugees. And then you can unpack that statement. There's a lot of real good commentary in that moniker. And that's why Go was invented by the guy who invented C and Unix. Do you think he has any loyalty to one company? Hell to the no. So I do not feel bad. In fact, people say stuff like that all the time, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right. People think Google made it, and because I've totally forgotten it had anything to do with Google. Look at Docker, for example. Do you think the Docker company would have built its entire business model on a Go dependency if they didn't think there was a problem with it? So the answer is no. I don't have any problem. To me, it's not a Google technology. It's a Rob Pike and Ken Thompson technology that they happen to build at Google. And Rob Graysomer, I think is his name, the Java guy who left the project. So I have no problem. 11:10. Yeah, I think learning how to code, and then the next question is, well, learning how to code means learning how to code in. You can't say you're a programmer unless you know how to code in more than one language, at least 3 languages. You need to have at least a compiled language. You need to have at least 1 or 2 interpreted languages. I don't count Bash. Bash is an interpreted language, but I don't count it. So, and those languages are pretty obviously JavaScript and C and Go and Rust and those kind of languages. I mean, you could put Java in there as a compiled language if you really wanted to. Shell scripting, 3 excludes shell scripting. Look, shell scripting is more integral to Linux than anything. I do think Linux is, I'm going to say something else that was kind of come up through all this thing. Linux terminal usage is coding. It is coding. Every single time you type a command in, you are coding. So yeah. PyPro was made by Holly. Yes. So where does Python? I think Python is still substantial in the mix, obviously. I just hate it. I hate the Python language. I hate where they've taken it. I hate everything about the syntax at this point. I always have, if I am completely honest. I've always been more of a Perl guy at heart. I think that significant white space is the single stupidest programming design decision ever made by a programming team. And unfortunately, Haskell has made the same decision, and so has NIM, or Nix, or whatever it's called. So I know I've offended 1,000 people by saying I don't like your favorite language. But sorry, I think Python sucks as a language. A lot of people need it. I used it for years. I'm not saying I didn't use it. I don't know how to use it. I just hate it. Do I think it's important to learn? Yes, I do. Especially if you're going to do system administration. But it's not as important as the other base languages. So we're going to talk about that. That's all on the boost. Should people learn Lisp? Eventually. Yeah. I haven't yet. If you've coded in true JavaScript, you've coded in Lisp, almost. It was actually designed on Lisp. Nim and Nix, I know one of them is a distro and one of them is a language. I know that. I forgot. I can never tell the difference. Okay? I know, please. I know. I'm sorry. Is Nim the OS? Is it Nix OS? Okay, Nim is the language. Nix is the OS. They have nothing to do with each other. But I constantly confuse the two because they're new things in my head. Go Haskell or Lisp. Yeah, Haskell. Pandoc is made in Haskell. I like Haskell. I think if you want to mess with your head the most, I would learn Haskell instead of Lisp. Because I think Haskell has much more practical application than Lisp right now. You don't see, worldwide applications being written in Lisp. As far as I know, I'm going to get beat up for that. All right, let's get back to the VI stuff. But yeah, a little bit of just random talk. I get offended by people who are opinionated without knowing the language. The language should give me reasons why I don't like it. I actually have done that. I've objectively written out it's like, you can't say you don't like your vegetables until you eat them. I've used Python a lot, which is why I fell out of love with it. Perl as well. Although I love Perl, I just have no practical application. Very rarely do I need Perl, which, by the way, is one of the things we're going to talk about today. I actually use Perl today because whenever you're reaching for a regular expression, I reach for Perl, not sed. Sed is a whiny, runny-nosed kindergartner compared to Perl when it comes to regular expression. Okay, so that's why I pick, even though, and if you're going to shell out, if you're going to subshell out, might as well subshell out to the right tool and not to it's faster, it's smaller, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but it sucks. So if I'm going to shell out at all, I'm going to make a sub-process, I'm going to use Perl. Perl 6, I have not, and I don't know if I would. TCL, yeah. TCL, I did TCL a lot, actually. I wrote a lot of TCL to do expect scripts in the 90s. It was actually, TCL was a mandatory language for cybersecurity for a very long time. If you wanted to automate anything, you learned TCL for a very, very long time. And that's been a long time. Larry Wall seems to be overlooked compared to the other Titans. He sure does. And you know what? You know why? It's because he got sick. His wife and he got, it really bothers me that Larry, I've never met him. Larry Wall, I would love to meet him because, he pretty much codified regular expressions. If nothing else, codified regular expressions for eternity. And everybody else is jumping on the bandwagon to use PCRE, Perl regular expression engine. All right. Do I have time to share what you are working on and maybe share your opinions on my, give us time to share. I want to, however, most of the time that is actually done in the Discord. I didn't necessarily plan it that way. It just turns out that there's so much for me to blab about. I was really hoping that we were going to be able to share in live about the things that we're working on. And it turns out, no surprise here, that the best way to do that is in sort of asynchronous time in the Discord. So that's a great question. So do you ever give us time to share what we're working on, maybe share opinions? Yes, peer review each other's stuff. In fact, where should we put that? Should we open up a new space? Provoke my dreams with the switch. Yeah, me too. From 4 to 5 was pretty hard. 4 to 5 switch was, I agree, Ramingu. What I liked about Python is that regardless of features, it has grown organically when most programming languages have been lobbied and walled garden. I wouldn't say it's grown organically. I mean, that's me, but so let me go back to the thing about sharing your opinions about what you guys are building and working on. It is my dream. It's actually one of my greatest dreams that somehow I can be a catalyst for you to meet other people and start projects. And in fact, some cases in the private mentoring that I do, I create projects for multiple people on the team and then they work on them together. So we need a spot in the Discord to do that. What if we call it show and tell? Should we put that in the social? What do you think? What do you guys think? I mean, we're going to get to the Vim stuff. Don't worry. You're in it? Yeah, let's do show and tell. So again, this is the great value I find in this community is we can dynamically change it. So here I am live on stream changing it up because I've had feedback from the community. If anybody has any doubt that a learning community is 1,000 times more valuable than a top-down traditional education organization, here's the evidence of it. We can change on the fly. Other people can't. Should we put it under social? Yeah, let's put it under social. Social? Yeah, social. More channels. More channels. I know. We got so many. I know. I'm sorry. So to kiss and tell. That's not within the scope of our channel. It would be entertaining though. It would be show and tell, social. And I you know what? I want to promote people showing off their stuff because where else are you going to do it? You go on Twitter, hey, look at my thing, please. I mean, that you made. A gentleman never tells. Well said. Anyway, okay, so let's go make a new, I love doing this kind of stuff when you guys watch me and go, why does it take him so long to do this? Create channel. Okay, create channel called Show and Tell. We'll just call it that. Or should we... Edited that joke right away. This is a family channel. I know. Which is why I just edited my joke. Yeah, Rookie, you're taking too long. Please don't kick me. Let me first disclaim. I don't have very much experience with Python, but I would say that I really like the syntax and features of Python. Python. Now, we're trying to keep this a family channel. Stop making visions of Pythons and thongs. Which, by the way, did you know the snake is not the namesake for the Python language? What is? Can everybody just be clear on this? Python language has nothing to do with the snake. Eventually, Guido's like, yeah, fine. But I'm still not such a fan of it. Yeah, Monte Python or Monty Python, Monty Python. How many ways can we spell Python incorrectly? Oh, I love you guys. This is so fun. All right, so confuse the cat. That is a fantastic skit. It must be Friday, just like last Friday. I could not stay on topic. Get on with it. Get on with it. Okay, fine. All right, so here we are. We have show and tell now. So please show and tell, but keep it clean. I don't even need to say that. The Ministry of the Funny Walk. Oh my God. Yes, Vim. Yes, back on topic. Someone put a break in the chat there, so I know what's going on. Here we go. So, by the way, one of my favorite memories of doing Python programming as a group, I taught it for 5 years, was all of the Monty Python skits I could put up on the big screen without worrying about copyright or anything, because it's just me and a bunch of people learning. And we would like code the skits. We would code Bridgekeeper. Bridgekeeper is a great skit to learn if, then, else, and case statements. It's a great skit to code as just a fun activity. In fact, maybe for the sake of tradition, we'll just continue to do that. Vimfoo into show. Yes, here we go. So we're going to go back into the Vimfoo. Now, once again, let me just remind you, back to lurk mode. So we're going to go, we actually have more than enough time to cover what I want to cover today. That's why I'm kind of casual. We're just going to go through and build a VimRC. So the first thing you should do, and I already told you this yesterday, so I'm not going to pause if you haven't got it, is you should have already built a repos directory. And if you don't know what that means, go here, rwx.gg, local repos. I don't know if I saved that yet, but it should be. Should be saved. Let me check. Yep. So this is how to set up local repos. Well, there I am. And that, so you should have that already. We're not, yeah, I use plug too, but we're not going to do that right now. So we're going to go into your GitLab. You should all have dot files of some kind. I call mine dot files these days. I used to rail against the name dot files because it wasn't proper, because it wasn't necessarily all dot files. But since I've moved most of my binaries into dot local, I now agree it's all dot files. So let's go into, now we're just getting started, zeros. Now I usually, honestly, I've been learning. I looked at my viewership, and I kind of have to shoot the breeze for 10 minutes anyway, because nobody shows up. So anyway, let's go into my dot files. So you guys should have your own dot files. And here we have, mine are pretty complicated, but because I have a build script for my dot files. But ultimately, you should have a Vim directory. I prefer to put to group my stuff together into a single directory, so that I can provide a little README that goes with what it is, so it describes it to people who might want to use it. And I believe in writing just a tiny little setup script. Okay, and this stuff is all. I mean, you can see where it is if you want to go see mine. This is where you would go if you want to just go peek in there. Just go to Common Vim, and that'll show it to you. Actually, I'll put HTTPS in front of that. Okay, so it's time to get your dot files out and to edit a file that's here first. So you can go ahead and just make your VimRC. The thing that is so spectacularly awesome about this now is that I don't need any dictionary or anything else. I need one file, and that is it. And if you have done any Vim configuration in the past, or you tried to do a dot files with your Vim config using other plugin managers, you'll understand how liberating this is. Because normally you have to have a .vim directory with your libraries and all that stuff. And I actually have that in another place. I do have a private directory. This is stuff that I don't necessarily want to share with the world, but I want to keep backed up. So I keep it in the cloud in a private repo. And so I have a Vim here. But the Vim here, as you can see, is just, scripts and my spelling. Okay, so I actually have, you can actually make Vim scripts that will play when you start Vim. One of the ones I have will actually enter a log entry when I open it using that script. So you can do some really amazing things with Vim. So you can actually, script all the keystrokes when it first loads up. So if you want to load it up to do a particular thing, what is dungeon.py? Not what you think. This is a spectacular program. I wonder if it will run Python 3. This is not for me. This is one of my students. Hi, Scream. Uh, wait, what's in it? I didn't write this. This is a really cool dungeon generator that one of my students made that I've been saving. Is it empty? Wait, I'm in the wrong place. Wait, another day. It's a pretty cool little program. It's a dungeon generator. I can send it. You guys want one? I mean, if you really want it, I can send it to you. Use the skill stack teller. It's going to fail for you. It's really old. This is like back when he was using our library and everything. It's pretty cool. It's a dungeon generator in Python that a kid wrote. It's just spectacularly awesome. I mean, fine. Here you go. You can have one. You have to modify it to play it, but it's pretty cool. Chris made that. So if he's out there. Okay, so back to where we were. So what I was trying to say is that I have split my Vim configuration into two places, but not really. The main configuration is in common, and then I keep my my spelling dictionary, which the world doesn't need to see my spelling dictionary. I keep that in a private repo, and so this combination of private dot files and public dot files is nice to maintain that separation. So something you can share with the world and put in show and tell and all that, and then something that you don't necessarily want to share with the world. Some things of which are not stuff I would, private logs and stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah, Matt, you can put a hacking dictionary. Yeah. So that's what's up with that. And we're going to get to that, by the way, because when we get to the bottom of this vimrc, I'm going to go through this right now. But as we get to the bottom of it, you'll see here you can actually change the runtime path for Vim to include other files. And so what this does is this automatically and quietly tries to load additional RC files at the end. And I strongly recommend that little thing. I very rarely, in fact, I had to research that one. I don't remember ever seeing that in anybody else's vimrc, which is another thing where I talk about how where is the definitive source of learning about the vimrc. Well, there really isn't a place. If you know of a place, let me know. But I mean, I remember Scream, I actually attended one of his streams once when I was first starting, and he was going through a pretty involved vimrc file that had been highly commented. And if there's one thing I want to do with my vimrc, it is to add more comments, because I truly think this is one of the best ways that we can, share information with each other. And these things I have up at the top here are not commented because they're assumed to be sort of understood, but because you can just look them up with the help, and we'll go through and do that. So I'm just kind of giving you an overview of what's going to happen over the next 2.5 hours. We're going to be just configuring our Vim, but this starts with having a place to do the Vim configuration. Okay, how to learn Vim script the highest rate? That's probably good if you want to learn Vim script. Yeah. As a Vim script as a language, I think that's probably, you know what, I'm going to look at that one. I have the O'Reilly Vim book, but I've been meaning to read that one. So Vim script, vimrc is written in Vim script. So that means all the settings and everything are Vim script. It's a pretty weird language, but it's very powerful. There's just no doubt. And I keep finding myself doing more and more with it. In fact, I got sucked into writing my own extensions to the Vim plug, to the Pandoc plugin, because I wanted something extra. It's always that way, scratching an itch, right? I wanted something extra. So this is really great. And this level of customization is somewhat intimidating to people who come to the world of editing things where you have one choice and one only, and you think that you're really awesome for writing, a macro in your favorite, word or like in the day, WordPerfect or whatever. It's a much different thing. Anyway, so let's get on with it. I'm actually going to log into a different directory. Let me make sure I don't have, yep, okay. Sudo su-sample. I'm going to log into another account that does not have, it doesn't have anything here. Hey, Bakari. So this is a VI that I don't think I have any vimrc. So, okay, so if you don't want to set up your repo first, all right, if you don't want to set up your repo first, that's fine. But if you do, and you already have a place in your repo set up, let me give you this setup script, okay? It's a very, very simple setup script. We've talked about symbolic linking before, so there's nothing fancy going on here. As long as you haven't tried to do any Vim configuration, be careful when you run this script, because if you do have something there, this will blow it away. This will replace the current .vimrc in your home directory with a symbolic link pointing to the current location. So here is this script. You guys can have it. Okay, so there is the setup script that you can put into your own Vim directory, similar to mine, GitLab RWX rob.files comment. You can put, yours might just be Vim instead of common. And then you can actually, once you run that script, just make sure you touch, vimrc, so you have a vimrc here, right? And that will give you a vimrc script, and you can start from that point. So I'm actually going to do that here as symbolically. It won't be an actual RWXU. Do I have .files in here? I do. Good, Rob. Git status. Oh wow. So I actually I did the same thing. So I can actually emulate this. Now my colors suck here. Let me see if I can copy over. Okay, so this is a part of the configuration that I normally would have. I'm kind of cheating at this point. Let me give me a second here. So I'm trying to figure out how to get my colors on my system, but I almost don't want to do those things, because if I do it, it's going to be jumping ahead and you're not going to see it, but my colors are not going to be as good. I hope you can read them. But I'm in my .files directory, and here's my, so we are all Navy coders. Interesting. We are now. Make directory Vim, and now I'm gonna move vimrc into my Vim. Now, it is kind of triggering me that my system's not configured to show the different colors and stuff. But you'll, forgive me for that for today. So you can actually run a Vim using a specific configuration directory instead of the default is an alias. Yes, it is. So there's a bunch of things I haven't configured over here. I'm trying, at this moment, I'm pausing sort of because I can't decide whether to proceed on stream with this account that has not been further configured to show you properly what things look like, or to just make an extra, vimrc script here. And I think I'm probably going to do that instead. So GitHub, no, we use GitLab. I use GitLab, thank you. So I use GitLab for everything. I have a lot of stuff on GitLab Hub that needs to move over. Anyway, so we'll go into the Vim directory, and we have a vimrc, and now you guys can get that, you can get the setup script. Here's how you ekes down the setup script, by the way. If you want to, you can just do this, and that will give you your setup script, setup, and I can chmod +X the setup script and be ready to go. And I can run /setup, and that will actually put my setup script in the right place. Then Vim won't use the config with sudo as no. Okay, so guys, I actually don't want you to use my vimrc. I want you to start using your own. Okay, and we're gonna do this. This is kind of cheating. So I'm gonna get rid of those. Okay, so beep boop boop. So anyway, so here we have this Vim thing. So now if I do ls-l on tilde.vimrc, I have a symbolic link that points from my vimrc to this location that is a GitLab repo, which we covered lots and lots before. So if you need to know how to make a repo and how to make .files and how to clone those and all those things, those are all covered, but I'm not today. So you're going to have to kind of back up and do those things. If you want to follow along today and you don't have that stuff set up, go ahead and just edit this file, knowing you're going to copy it over later, but don't forget to move it when you run the setup script. Otherwise you'll blow it away and you won't have a backup. Okay, so that's what we're doing. All right, let's get into the guts of the actual thing. If you have questions, go ahead and ask them on the chat, and people will help you out if I can't. Again, I'm going to now. It doesn't matter which one I edit now, right? So I can edit .vimrc, right? And I can say, hello. Oh man, I'm going to need my syntax right away on that. Or I can edit this one right here. Why? why can I edit both files and they're the same thing? Because symbolic links, right? So, and I wanted to know if Python was a pleasant way of Vim scripting Vim. I don't script anything in Vim except for VimScript and Bash. And I just, because I integrate very closely with Bash. Yes, they are linked, magic. All right, so it really doesn't matter, but for the sake of today, I'm always going to be doing vi tilde /.vimrc, assuming, let's start with the color scheme. I agree. Okay, so, because you guys can't read it. So let's do that. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and read my other vimrc here. I'm going to cheat. This is my cheater one because I need to go look at it because I've already, there's no way you can memorize all this stuff. You just have to kind of go back and look it up every time. And there's constantly like looking up happening. I'm actually going to put the color scheme up at the very front. Although, let's go ahead and put skip defaults. Okay. You know what? I don't even think you guys need skip defaults. I have skip defaults on because I want to force everything to use what I set. So, do you want that? I don't know. Do you want that? Oops. And I'm going to use Tmux to cut and paste. Do you guys want me to turn screen key on again? I can. Do I need to turn screen key on? I think I need to. All right, screen key. All right. Just remind me not to put my password in anything. All right. So what does this do? So this says, force me to set everything explicitly. And I like that. That's kind of like a normalizer if you do web development. It makes everything, all the margins are the same, right? Everything is like the same. Now, obviously, the first thing we need, and by the way, I press Control left bracket instead of Escape. I have for years, so you're going to see that a lot. I'm trying to start pressing Escape instead, though, because reasons. Anyway, so let's start with a color theme because this is insane. So I'm going to go back and see where my colors are. Color. So I'm going to do, let's see, default. Let's see, dark blue on black, great contrast. You know what? I don't like it. It's just the default. This is the one I'm going to set. I'm going to set Elf Lord because Elf Lord plays nicely. I hate Elf Lord regularly. A lot of people set up their solarized colors right here. I used to do that for years, but because of streaming, I went with a much higher contrast color scheme. I'm not a particular fan of Elf Lord at all, but I tell you what, it makes a phenomenally high contrasting. I have to restart. Uh-oh, I screwed up. Oh, it's not set. There's no set or let. Okay, let's just do that. How do you save it and make it reload? Does anybody know? I don't know. I've never learned that. How do you save it and make it reload without exiting? Someone tell me that. Come on, there's got to be some smart guy out there who knows. If not, I'll go search for it right now. Cannot find color scheme because why? Because I have an equal sign in there. All right, fine. Let's go figure it out. How to load vimrc with? Are you serious? Without? That's a great idea. Without reloading, that is perfect. I think that's going to be the one. So, oh wow, there's two people who know what they're talking about. See. That's why we have a community. I don't know everything. Hell no, you know. Okay, so yeah, actually, I think we could even do the other one though. Let's do this. So I love this one. So the percent means the current file, or the current content of the current file, every line in the current file. So I'm going to do that. Look at that. Oh my God, you guys are my favorite. All right, so actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a note in here to myself. I'm going to say, remember you can : su to reload the file without closing it. So that was links. I didn't know Dillo existed. What the hell is Dillo? Dillo web browser written in C. Dillo is the Fastlight toolkit. Read under Dilla follows the software. This is intriguing me. I will look at this later. W3M, not a fan. I don't like trying to write pictures. It's just me. You guys know my justification. I like links because it's just wicked fast with text. The end. All right. So now I made a little note to myself, which I sometimes do. Remember, you can reload the file without closing it. Remember, let's see. Remember, use. All right. So to reload. That's all I'm going to say. Keep it nice and to the point. Maybe I'll actually. Do you capitalize your comments or not? And I mean, I know this is like an earth-shattering question, but do you capitalize your comments or not? I've often wondered that question. It's like, do you or not? I guess we will. I don't. I do. I don't. The first two responses. All right. So, all right. I mean, listen. I go back and forth. I can't. I mean, yeah. I tend to not. I kind of want them to fade into the background. They kind of get in the way a little bit too much when they're there. Anyway. Oh, another thing I'm going to do that I have not done in other things. I like having my comments be on the same line, but this is another thing. Do I do an inline comment or do I do a comment on the same line? I think I'm going to do this. Okay, so L-Floor is the best for high contrast streaming. Okay, so then, but I can maybe put another one in. Is it GPL v3? I don't care. I don't look. I'll use GPL v3 obviously, like Bash, but when it comes to building my own operating system, yeah, Pablo. There's a Pablo. Let's do Pablo too. So Pablo is kind of fun. By the way, here's how you check all these. You can down below you colon color scheme tab, and you can just hit tab, and you can try them all. So I mean, watch your eyes here because I don't know what we're gonna get. Let's try evening. Oh, that's not too bad. See what I'm saying? So you can actually try different ones, and then of course colon SO source. That, and I loads my color scheme there. I'm a teacher of no loyalty. That's fine. I'm kind of that way, but my links is just my fingers no links. Industry color scheme. There's an industry color scheme. Oh, let me try it. I'm not gonna. Let me keep Pablo. I like Pablo too. Pablo's kind of nice. You just can't read the comments as well. So color. I mean, we're spending our time on the most important thing at first. Color scheme, industry. Ooh, industry is nice. Problem is, it's got a black, transparent, non-transparent background. Can't do that. I wonder if I can hack it. I don't know. I'm used to L-Floor. So, peach puff on a gray background. Really? Seriously? God bless you. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. You Pinch Puff user. All right, so I've said VimB and GP is VPL3. Trying to set up links based on Rob's GitLab. I like the question mark. Yeah, you can do that another day. Actually, I'm gonna spend half a day or one full day on web browsers. This is a new thing. So that will probably be next week. So anyway, I want to spend one full day on configuring web browsers, including Vimium and stuff like that. I covered all that in the second week, but I want to do it again because it keeps coming up, and I want to get better at it. And we have time because we're stealing some time from the book week about environment configuration. So that's what's going on. All right, so I'm going to load this, and you can do Solarize. So my actual favorite is there's a plugin for Solarize colors you can get. And you do color scheme dark. And by the way, I should probably add that you probably want to set background equals dark. Usually you want that. That's what makes a big deal if you're using Solarize colors. Solaris colors for the longest time were my very, very favorite color scheme on planet Earth. They're really bad for streaming though, because it's not very high contrast. So, and I'm going to go load my Elf Lord back so this is more readable. SO percent. Percent is not a key I can type without looking at the keyboard, I'm going to confess. High clear normal to make background transparent. What? What? I am flex for the win. I just deleted my other thing. Wait. High clear normal. Color scheme industry. Man, this is you guys are helping me out here. This is awesome. Call it SO. Oh, it doesn't look like it. Wait, how about I do that? Oh, by the way, you can up arrow this as well. You can up arrow the history. No joy. Wait, let's. I did, but now it's not happy. Maybe I need to do it on some sort of thing. Put it after. I mean, if you get that working, let me know. So, elf to the Lord. And there we go. Back to the water. Nice, salt, calming water. Works on iTerm too. Might be an Alacrity thing. Who knows? Okay, so I forgot to do this. So set a background dark. I just have that just cause. Let's get some line numbers. It's driving me crazy that I don't have line numbers. So set NU or number. And this is a thing. This is always a thing for me because I sometimes want to use the short ones and sometimes I want to use the long ones. When I use the long ones, I can't remember what the short ones are. So I put the short ones so that I can look them up when I want to set them over again. I can just look at my vimrc and I know what I'm doing. But I think it's probably better to use the long ones in your vimrc. So set number, and that is going to that's going to add my line numbers. This is a point where you guys usually want to do relative numbers. And to look this up again, I'm going to do colon set what is it? What is it called? Rel what? It's been a long time since I've had it. I used to have it in here, but I'm going to, oh, there it is. Relative, I had it right there. No relative number. So if we don't stream, is it worth getting into relative numbers if we don't stream? No, I mean, I did for a very long time. So I would at least try it, make an informed decision, see if you like it. I usually go to the beginning of things and then select by sections. So the reason people like relative numbers is because they'll do copy something minus 10. And I'm not into that. Not into relative numbers since use magic wands and section select more usually for the same thing. That's why I do it. So that's usually why. Yes, I have that too. We're going to talk about CC. Let's get into that. Must have the line numbers no matter what. I'm putting comments in this. Maybe I'll even steal this one for later. Okay, so got my line number, got my relative number, set no compatible versus compatible. This is what allows you to do things that you cannot do. It's probably good to set it up here. Okay, set no compatible. So that says it's like allow Vimy things. Okay. That otherwise it will force it to be more of a VI sort of experience. Some people get away without putting that in there though, I've noticed. Ruler. Now ruler is kind of interesting. No, wait, I'm screwing this up. Ruler is the thing at the bottom, I think. Wait, what is ruler? Help ruler. I forgot what ruler is. What already happened? No, I have not done that. I need a full day and a half to do Proton Mail plus Mutt. Maybe I'll do that next week. Because next week is becoming a configuration week again, which is fine. It was supposed to be shell scripting week. We might have to just push back JavaScript a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. So ruler, what is a ruler? Show the line and column number of the cursor position separated by a comma. So this is something that's kind of on by default, but for some reason, you need it. Has anybody ever not had the ruler on? Let's try to turn it off here. Set no ruler. Oh wait, maybe this whole time it hasn't been on. Set ruler. Is it on by default? It is on by default. So ruler is on by default. So yes, okay. Talking about bridge versus nat. Yeah, we did. Okay, so ruler is on by default, but just in case. So set ruler, that's the thing at the bottom. So that's, if you don't have it, that's what's going on. And so let's do expand tab. I am a big expand tab. This turns your tabs into spaces. I hate tabs. Even though you can't escape them in Golang. Set expand to tab. So magic wand alter. We'll talk about. I have to talk about magic wands. If you go to RWX, if you want to read about that, go read here to catch up. rwx.gg vi #magic. We'll talk all about it. I'm prepared for that question. Now, finally. Wait, what time is it? It's time for me to go get coffee. Almost. So we're going to go through all these. We got plenty of time. This weekend, talk about networking. Talk about networking on streams. Yes, I'm gonna try Ramingo. I can't promise what it will be. There's even a Wikipedia page called Editor Wars. I think tab is nice for getting things to line up. Maybe. I do not like it. So I hate tabs. They always cause trouble. So something else that's probably worth putting here. So let's do tab stop. And I also believe in, a lot of people will shoot me over this. There's people who think for or die. I don't care. Tab stop. My tab stop, which gets converted into spaces, is set to 2. I don't like a lot of indentation, and I never have, and I run my font pretty large so I can see where things are. Let me just say that this does not mean that I use 2 tabs in a code base where the style is obviously 6 spaces of indent or tabs. So the most important style is always the style that is already there. This just means that when I'm making content, for me only, that's what I use. So I'm not trying to insinuate soft tab stop. There's a bunch of these. All these are related. So that's what's going on. Shift width is 2. I have shift width is 2 as well. The shift width is this. Actually, we didn't even do that. Oh my gosh, we didn't even cover that yesterday. Oh, we didn't cover indent. It's not in the tutorial. All right, guys, I have to teach you something right here because I didn't teach it to you yesterday. If you want to indent those 3 lines, 3 greater than. See what it just did? Okay, I'm going to undo that. So I'm going to do that again. 3 indent. So that took the bottom 3 lines and it indented them. Okay. You can actually do the same thing. So we can indent 1 line, and to go back 1 level, you can go less than. This isn't covered in the tutorial at all. One of the many things that's wrong with the tutorial. So anyway, too much too much indent. How can we do less indent? The reason for that is something else I'm going to do right here. Watch this. See this? When I do that indent, it's because it's using an actual tab. This is the reason I don't like tabs. But this is all going to change when I load all of my new tab stuff. So let's smart indent. That will automatically indent when, here. I'm going to go through these fast and then I'm going to show you all of them. Smart indent. Do smart indenting when starting a new line. So what it'll do is it'll try to indent it if the last line was already indented. Indent with intent. You guys are just too snarky. All right, so I'm going to do smart indent, smart tab, auto indent, and then we'll go back to text width. Okay, so all of these have to do with indenting. Okay, smart indent, smart tab, and auto indent. Auto indent will get you in big trouble though other times. Let's see, smart indent, set, smart indent. You probably want me to get rid of those things. Set, we're going to talk about this too. No list. This is another thing we didn't talk about in the tutorial. Oh, I'm on a break. The MD is on it about breaks. Okay, so smart indent, smart tab, and auto indent. All right, smart tab. What is the other one? Set, smart tab, set auto indent. Now, auto indent is something you want to turn off when you do pasting, which is another thing we need to talk about in VI. This is a good thing we're going through this. So I'm going to talk about it because it didn't come out in the Vim tutorial, and I'm going to do that. Are you an MD who is programming? No. I'm taking a break. Catch you later. You can watch the nice moon. definitely a good one. You know, it reminds me of taking breaks in yoga training. Last week I loved it. Good to have you, Mark. We used to have these breaks when we go to yoga training about once every hour and a half, 2 hours. We would like make tea and talk. It was right around the same time of year. That's why I'm all remembering it. It was one of the best months of my life. Phenomenal. Miss that, gang. Different stages of life. Yep. I went to yoga training and I went to a 30-day immersive yoga instructor training about I could probably still find that picture since we're on break. We're on break, right? Did I put that in my Instagram? Oh, that's in my, I think that's even in my Twitter feed. We're on break. In case you're wondering, I'm on break. Till 10 after, we'll get back at it. I'm just having the break with you guys this time. All right, Twitter. Man, I haven't posted anything in here in a long time. You know what's so funny is I had just finished this diagram and now I'm redoing the whole thing all over again. It's so hard to keep up, people. At least I'm trying. Nobody else is. Learning Java applets. Oh my god. Learning Java applets. Repetition is the mother of learning. Neuroscientists. I gotta put all of this into the knowledge base. So it's just in one place. I came here because, oh my god, this Cambridge Analytica leak. Oh, I gotta remember to go back to that too. So my writing stuff. I like Twitter because it's kind of like a knowledge, like, log. If you're not blogging about it, which I should probably just blogging about it. Anyway, there is someplace in this feed. Do you have a favorite student? Yes. Patrick. Oh, that's right. This guy died last year at Woodlawn. He was a Spanish teacher. He went to South America somewhere and died. They killed him. The cartel killed him. The teachers asked me to hack his account, try to locate his iPhone. That was a sad day. I forgot about that. November 1st last year. God, was it that long ago? Oh my god, there's my other old website. Oh, so old. VS Code. See, this is back when I taught. This is what I was doing. If you're an absolute beginner, like 9 years old, we did Replit. If you're intermediate, we did VS Code and GitHub and GitLab. And we learned Node. We have a Node. But if you're advanced, we did VS Code VI and GitLab. So you guys are advanced. Back in the day. The future of hackers. Hacker Noon. Golang is the future of development. Why did I come here? I come here, believe it or not, to show you my... There's our old van. Oh, memory lane. What time is it? I can still do this. I'm just reminiscing on my Friday. Info world. Oh, my Skillbots. I wish I could bring you guys. I wish I could bring Skillbots back for you. I think you would really have fun with them. It's this thing you could run on your local machine, and it would run like a challenge set, and it would watch your history to see if you got things right. I really need to bring that back. There's no link to it even anymore. I really need to bring that back. There it is. Why you forget how to make a robot. Man, this is really old. Really old. Ethical hacking. I thought I had it in here, I guess not. Oh no, there it is. There it is. Oh, we're still on break, right? I got 2 minutes to reminisce. Oh, it's my class. I love them. Oh. They were so awesome. This was my awesome team. Oh, I can tell the stories, the memories. You really get to know people after like 30 days of yoga training, and like you have no boundaries after that. You probably say barriers. That's a better thing. Talk about a boomer living the life. This guy, I won't say his name, but he's her too. He was like literally traveling, living out of a van. He'd been an executive his whole life. He was literally living in a van. He'd go, I'll go to yoga training. Last I saw him, I heard from him, he was like Costa Rica in his van someplace. I mean, come on, it was just so cool. You know, oh, she's so crazy. She was from Brazil, and she was so just exactly what you would expect. I'm getting a little embarrassed because this girl right here was my partner for one of the anatomy lessons, and I was like beat red because she was like, no, just put your hands there. I'm like, okay. She was being nice. She did, because I was just all squeamish. Yeah. Because we were trying to find the sit bones. But after like 2 or 3 weeks in yoga, oh, it's 12:10. I gotta go back. No more reminiscing. I'm coming back to this picture though. Anyway, back to business. Where are you? Yeah, that was me with the white hat. Yep. Yeah. Went to eat fresh produce in the jungles. Yes. People see that picture of me and they think that they're my absolute family. I mean, you have no idea. May you all have an experience where you get to be with somebody for a long time. Well, my wife is actually downstairs doing yoga right now. Or to be ex-wife. No, I cannot show my six-pack at the moment because I don't have one. It's in the fridge. It's exactly where it is. Trying to get it back though. I don't know. I do have a picture of my six-pack, but I can't show it to you because it would be inappropriate from when I was paddleboard god, yoga dude. But I'm not anymore. I'm older. So do your yoga. Don't get fat. Do something while you're stuck in the house. And just, you know what? You have to go back and look at that stuff so that you can like go back and remind yourself. Here we are, relaxing to the moonlight. Speaking of the moon, is it a moon day today? It ain't moon day today. You don't do yoga on moon days because you're crazy. Back to Vim. I'm a minute over. Say, wait, is it a moon day? Today is Monday. Today is Monday, not moon day. Fine. I'll look that up later. When's the next yoga stream? You know what? I actually started streaming yoga crap and nobody cared. I did. I actually started doing a tree of yoga. Yeah. But I made someday I might actually put like a GoPro on our yoga. We have a little yoga shala room. I might actually put a GoPro in there and do yoga someday. If it motivates somebody to pick up yoga and keep from losing their mind on stream live for everybody to see, which I have done, or if it just brings any bit of joy to you at all, then then do it. Whether you do it for the exercise because you want to stand on your head, or because you do it because you want to do handstands, or you're doing it because you want to get jacked and get all the chicks, or if you're doing it, whatever reason you come to yoga, it's always a good thing. I believe that about tech too. Whatever reason brings you to tech, it's good because the skills are going to play along. And there we go. Nice segue, Rob. You look younger now than then. It's because I had my beard really, really long. Yeah. I'm a lot happier now than I was immediately after that. Actually, during that time, I was really, really happy. But then life is like that. All right, back to doing auto indent. So auto indent, let's set the text. So something I wanted to show you about indentation. I'm not doing this. I didn't cover this yesterday in our VI class. So as we go through these configurations, they're reminding me of things that I need to bring up again. So one of them was greater than, and less than for indentation. So you should be using that to indent when you want to indent a code block or something. The next thing I want to show you though is, and I'm going to go ahead and put list characters. I'm going to pop that up here because it kind of goes next. The next thing I want to show you about however, is to see when you have stuff in your file. So let's say I turn off all of these. Watch me. I'm going to use let's see. I'm going to do bing bang that, and then I'm going to do CMT with a colon, and then it should be. Oh wait, it didn't do it. Oh wait, I'm not on the right system. Ha. So yeah, there's one reason to use visual mode, because I don't have my scripts. So let's try visual mode. Visual mode. I know I don't use visual mode very much. And then I'm going to do capital I, and then colon, and then escape, and it should do everything. That's visual mode. I didn't say I never use it. So anyway, let's say you don't have that. Why do I hate tabs? Well, watch. So here you go. Here's your tabs. So if I do one of these, if I want to move these over, it puts a tab in there. Set list. Oh, well, that's interesting. I don't like tabs because they're never consistent, and they usually confuse me, and I want things to line up, and they don't. And everybody has different tab stops in different places. That's why I don't like them. Let's say you set up tabs with six tab indentation space, whatever. And you get on somebody else's machine and they have it set to 4, and none of the tabs look any good. So it's not consistent. It's not where you come from, it's where you go. I agree. So let's go down here and do a little bit of tab indenting. I have a feeling this didn't take last time. Oh, I know why. Because I have to. Okay, I have to restart. All right. So watch what happens when I indent. See that? I really should change my screen key to just be in the middle of the screen. It's driving me crazy. Boom, boom. Okay. And so when I look at this, and this is why I'm talking about this, when I look at this, I don't know why it's indented. I don't know if it's a space or a tab, right? There's no easy way to know that. So this is something that I should have talked about yesterday that I didn't. It's a very common thing to do, and we're going to get down. There's actually a function key set to this. But if you do colon set list, you want this. You want to know this, because this will show you whether you have a tab, right, which shows up as a caret I, or you have a line ending. And sometimes if you have like extra space on the end of the line, and you may encounter configuration files that will fail because there's a space at the end. There are still configuration files out there that are like that. Indents and tabs are not the same unless you make them the same. Okay, so by default, an indent and a tab is the same. That's what I have going on right now. Keep the cursor in the middle on the screen. You could use set scroll off equals 999. Really? Thank you for that. Set. Wow. What is 999? Is that how far down it is? Or some big number? That is a fantastic... That is a fantastic tip. That is a fantastic tip. Twitch VIP. Hokafuda. Who's VIP for today? Thank you for that tip. That is phenomenal. Yes, it would really go well with relative numbers. I think that is awesome. Coca for president. Yeah. That is some really awesome input. Thank you for that. It's now going into my official VimRC. I can't remember it now though. So wait. Scroll off equals 999. Okay. Yeah. Scroll off equals 999. Scroll off equals 999. And it's the number of lines it offsets from the borders of the screen. Interesting. I set mine to 7. See, I was going to say I think I might like 7 to be mine as well. 7. Oh, I see. From the borders of the screen. But if you want it to be the middle, you set it to a big number, it makes it in the middle. I see. This is glorious. It's a glorious moment to be alive. Today I learned, thanks to Koka Fukududa. I don't even try. Best thing about mentoring sessions was it. I know. So why do you think I have been telling everybody that they should stream? Not just so they can share all their stuff, right? But so that they can actually tell people what's going on, what's about. This is how I learned about the backslash thing in front of an aliased function. I know. Yeah, I mean, a lot of us have had lots of experience, but there's still, the great thing about Linux is there's always more to learn. The U in scuba. All right, it's Japanese. Oh, scuba, Coca, Fukuda, Coca Fukuda. I keep knowledge all to myself. You technocrat. I know people who do that. You're joking, I know, but there are like people who do that and who are not the kind of people you want to work with. Don't be that guy or girl or non-specific gender. All right, so there we go. Smart tabs, auto indent, and what else? Okay, so this is what I'm going to show you. This is super cool. You probably are just going to have to cut and paste this one, so I must send it to you through the magic of Eeks. Bang bang and magic wands, I shall send you this line. There you go. And so there you go. That is a way. This is a relatively new find for me. But what it is it makes your list characters prettier. So right now, of course, if I have a tab or anything, it puts this ugly tab character, right? And if you do it that way, you will see better things. So watch. So so percent. And now you get, look, for the spaces, it makes a dot, it makes a line return, it shows me the space. Isn't that cool? That is so cool. This is something I did not find until last month. Yeah. Is that not cool or what? Koka Fukuda. Koka Fukuda. So there you go. Much easier. And you know what else? I don't... Is my trick going to work when the end of the line is like really low? This is going to be the real defining moment. Nope. I was hoping it was going to get me into the middle of my screen without having to actually add more lines. I have a friend like that and tell me he's hacking something, some tech words. I asked him his YouTube videos he's watching. He responds, "None. I'm learning by myself." Yeah. Okay. So there we go. So that's set list characters, much better than the alternative. And it shows you what's going on. And believe me, there's going to be a time in your life you're going to want to see what's up and what's going on, what the actual characters are, particularly if you've got tab in there. There was a Zeros. Do you remember? There was one time we were hacking on a thing, and I had the wrong. I had a tab in there, and that was what was throwing us off, because they had put it somewhere. They had put a tab in the thing, so it wasn't making a match properly, and it was instead of a white space. And so it was like, so you sometimes you want to know those characters. To reset the screen to the line you're editing, Z enter. Really? You mean like down here? I mean, the one thing I'm trying to get is to have it stay on the top. I think it was Alacrity YML. I can't remember. Yeah. Thank you for that. Is there another settings to get those to show up when typed? No, you just leave them on. So watch. So like, see, now you can see that it's not doing a tab, it's doing spaces, right? So you can turn it on. Actually, I'm going to show you a layout down below. You can actually set an F key. I think mine is F2 right now. Nope. F1? Nope. Oh, that's right. I haven't set anything. I haven't set my F keys to do anything, so I'm totally failing. Here we go. So let's go. I'm slowing down here. I got to get faster. Help when you're editing a long file. Yeah. Yeah, Celebrity is definitely, because it's YAML, right? Oh, wow. Look at that. That's cool. Anyway, so we have text with 73. I really like text with 73. Why? Because it's enough for a git gutter, and it's enough for a bunch of other things. So this is my favorite. A lot of people do 80 or whatever. 80 is lying to you, because if you're using VI and you want people to be able to edit your code, they'll always be 1 or 2 lines off, and then every single line will wrap. And when you're writing code, you don't want that. You do not want long lines that, unless it's Markdown. Sometimes you can't avoid it, but most of the time you want to fit everything into that, that one line. Set no list. Anyway, so I strongly recommend 73 for that. I don't have a git getter set right now, but at some point you'll get one. It's actually really good practice to force yourself. A lot of people that say you should use 6-character indent on C code, the reason they say that, and this is the way it is for Go, is because it forces you to keep your lines shorter. And when you have shorter lines, you write better code. You split up those multi-line, dot, trailing dot kind of things. It depends. I mean, Go is 6. I think C is 8. Yeah, good old VT100 limitations. It is. They are, but it's also, it's also why your comments should be set. That's why I have it set to 73, because this affects your wrapping. So I don't know if wrapping is set for Vim script. Let me check. WG. Nope. Oh yeah, it is. It just didn't comment it. Okay. So yeah. So that's what that's about. Let's go down. Go as, yes, it does. The greatest thing about Go is that it in terms of that is the formatting. The formatting is built into the language, so it puts tabs no matter what before you commit. So no backup, no swap file. If you don't have that, guess what you have? You have a stinking swap file, and I hate swap files. So a swap file, you can't see it here. Let me try. Let's see if I can show everything. Do I have a swap file? I do not. All right, so check this. So I'm going to actually, how am I going to do that? I don't think I can do it from this system. Basically, what a swap file is when you're editing a file, it will create a file called the name of the file with a tilde at the end of it. And it like pollutes your environment and leaves these things around. It'll sometimes make a backup of it. I don't use any of that. I use other things for backup. So no backup and no swap. And that's why. So Let's say living dangerously but cleanly. So that means no backup, no swap file, and no write backup. Set no backup, set no write backup, and no swap file. Set no swap file. Computer froze while editing file in Vim minutes ago. Restarting Vim helps save me with the swap file recovery. You want it, go for it. But now you know. Now you know whether you want it or not. If you can't be able to tell, I :W every 2 seconds. So that's why an extra file to me is overkill. I'm constantly :Wing. It's like my nervous tick, even if I haven't changed anything. Multi-user environments, that makes sense probably. I was learning on my own Pentium 4 1 gig RAM. My swap helped me, but otherwise I might have near. Yeah. So it just, people bring different habits to the table. Mine is PWLS and :W. Like if I'm not doing anything else, I'm doing that constantly. Autosave, I think autosave is built in if you turn on backup. That's what backup is. Swap file and autosave is autosaving. And catch myself saving when there's no change. Yeah, me too, all the time. So that's just my style. A lot of people probably aren't like that, but last status, I don't even remember what this is, so I'm actually going to look it up. Name last status. What? Oops. Help last status, of course. Help last status. The value of this option influences when the last window will have a status line. Never, only if there are 2 windows. I never have more than 1 window unless I'm doing help. Ever. So that's probably why mine is off. I am not a multiple window VI person. I do all of that with Tmux instead. In this case, I have to do that though. Can't get away from it. I have to do it again. There we go. What's up, Tooling? What did I miss? Hey, Lakshan. We're just doing editing. We're just going through the VI Vim script stuff. Last status equals 0. I'm gonna group it here. Last status equals 0. I don't need it. Icon. What is icon? Help icon. When on, the icon text of the window will be set to the value of icon string. Or to the name of the file currently being edited. Oh, yes, I definitely want that on. Only the last part of the name is used, overridden by the icon string option. Only works if terminal supports window icons, currently only X11 GUI. So this is if you want your X11 window to have that, and I do. So set icon, sync terminal title with current file edited. All right, and we'll turn that one off. :Q exclamation point. And so yeah, the scroll off. What is scroll off? Help scroll off. We're doing okay on time. Scroll off. Scroll off is the minimal number of screen lines to keep above the cursor and below the cursor. This is what I've been looking for. If you set it to a very large number, is this the one you just told us to set? I'm like, well, I guess I want to find it. Did you have a set? Wait, did I not do it? No, wait, I think you already. Smart indent. What? Oh, this one. Wait, where's my... Oh, I didn't add it. Change title to Linux Veteran Boost Day 1. Yeah. Use set enter set scroll off 7. Is that the one that we were doing? I did, didn't I? But I didn't put it in here anywhere. Okay, well, let's do this. Okay, keep cursor in the middle of the screen, which I love. Set scroll off equals 9999. Without syntax enable? I don't know. Good question, though. We should probably turn that on. Thank you for the reminder. I went through and removed things that were not... You know what? I don't know. I do not know. I should definitely have that on. Let's turn that on up here. Maybe that's an old thing. So set... is it syntax enable or is it set syntax enable? Syntax enable. Is that right? All right. SO question mark. Set syntax on. It is set. Set syntax on. Syntax case clear cluster conceal enable. Well, there you go. It's not set. Syntax enable. Have it. We asked the manual, and the manual says syntax enable. All right. So we got scroll off. We have. Let's see. Okay, what we got here? No HL search. What is that one? Help. No HL. Let's see. HL search. When there are a previous search pattern, highlight all its matches. Typing the type of highlighting used can set with the L. Why do I have that off? That sounds like something I would want on. Okay, so let's try set HL search. I'm going to load it. I need to hotkey that. All right, so let's say I'm going to search for no. Hey, look, it shows me all my no's. Why did I have that off? I want that on. Why would I ever turn that off? Oh, I know why. Because it keeps it on forever. I remember why. I remember this keeps it on forever, and the only way to get rid of it is to search for random crap. So that's why I turned it off. Have you ever done that? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? So you're like, so I'm going to search for set. Yeah, I know. So 404 page is broken. Which page? The 404 page itself is broken? Don't panic me. What is going on here? There's still a 404 page. Oh boy. Oh, this page is broken. I see what you're saying. Well, okay. Open a ticket. Only DuckDuck go redirects. Okay. No, it is clear the highlights after search. NOH is to clear the highlights. Oh, set NOH. Really? You just snapped NOH to CR or something? That's cool. That's a cool trick. Tell me about that. So I'm going to go ahead and leave my search on. And why do I have incremental search off? Name, let's see. Help inc search. While typing in search command, show where the pattern as it's typed far. Blah, blah, blah. Show where the pattern is when typed so far matches the string. Invalid or not found. Nothing is shown. Screen will updated. I don't know why that's different. Is that pressing N for searching again shows the highlight again? Oh, really? Wow. This is powerful stuff. I'm glad I'm on the stream. You guys can school me. Boy, I've lived with the minimum things forever. All right, so L search is nice. I'm gonna leave that on. Set the other one to an ink search is, I suppose, is fine to have. So I'm gonna practice here. So what do I say? Slash? No. We'll search for all the no's. There's a no. There's a no. There's a no. There's a no. I'm tired of finding all the no's now. I want to go back to work. So now I'm down here and I want to turn it off. So I do what? I do :NOH, enter, and it turns them off. And then I do N, and it finds it again. You people have made my life wonderful. :NOH rather than /random shit, which is what I usually do. I am super embarrassed to admit I never spent the time to look it up. I just made whatever my last search. Don't be me, people. Listen to the professionals. And how did you get to command history? You just do : and you push the up arrow. There's probably a better way, but I still use up arrows on that. I know that I'm like a big VI guy, but you cannot go up and down with the arrow keys, which if there is some way to make it so I can navigate my Vim history using VI keys, please tell me now, because it's the only thing I use the arrow keys for. To teach Linux? No. It's just to get a handle on Linux, and then it's to code mostly on Linux. Can I send you to rwx.gg7 and you have a peek at that first, then we can answer those questions. We're doing VI day today, VI setup today. The search thing drove me nuts a couple months ago when doing Vim Tutor. Thanks for the help. Yeah, me too. Control P, Control N. What about Control P, Control N? That's just up and down. Are you saying that goes back and forth through the history? Yeah, we got lots of Vim pros here. Pete, these guys are way better than me. Instead of arrows. Are you talking about from here? At least I don't have to use the stupid arrow keys. No, 7, it's great. Thanks for joining us. I'm just letting you know. Welcome. Also join the Discord. We can catch you up. Yep. You guys, thank you for that. That is like, you know what? Okay. Where is I'm going to put things to do. I'm going to put these notes up here. Use, CP, a raid. Awesome. CPCN to, up for, let's see, for up, down in history, in X history. I'm telling you, what are you talking to me? That's what I'm trying to tell you, Sloth. This is not just about me. Katie Raid, welcome. Love having you. So we're just writing. What was the other thing? Oh, it's Chris. Hey, man. So Control B has taken my Control P, Control B. Tomb Raider. Hey, man. We're just playing with our Vim stuff. 102. Well, then get out your terminals and practice some VI. We're doing some VI for the next 2 hours. We're doing VI We're setting setting. Give me more coffee. We're config. Actually, I'm learning more today than anyone. You think you know VI? I've been doing VI for 20 years, and I just learned 3 things that I did not know. I'm using Vim. It's Vim, dude. This is Vim. It's Vim RC. When I say VI, I mean Vim. Sorry. Wait, what did you learn? Exactly. You're gonna like shame me? All right. So one of the big ones was how to center your thing in the middle of the screen, which is this scroll off 999. I'm going to show you. Actually, we're getting to one that's actually critical. Everybody who's here, I'm not just telling you this to try to keep you here. I'm going to cover something with a Vim info file that will save you a very bad day using Vim if you don't do it. And I had that bad day. So anyway, we're almost there. Let's keep going. So we did incremental searches. So our good friends have told us, watch. Okay, highlight search results. Okay, :NOH to clear highlights. Anybody there not know that? or dare to be, are you man enough or woman enough to admit that you did not know that? Watch. So if I'm searching for NO and I got all these highlights, right? All right. Yeah. Okay. So we have all these cool highlights, right? Super awesome. Go to the next one, right? And then you finally do your little work, and then something that's bothered me for ages. You want me to tell you my annoying way to get around this? I would type / and search for anything, and it would make the highlighting go away. I am so embarrassed to tell you that I did that. Exactly. Exactly. There's actually a much better way, thanks to the people in the stream. So let's do it again. So / for no. I'm going to go search for no, right? Go through all my no's. No. I'm down here. Okay, I'm all done. I want to get rid of these annoying highlights. Now watch this though. Watch this. :NOH gets rid of the highlighting. It's just as easy to type as / whatever the fuck. And now guess what happens? If I want to go find my last result again, like, well, what was that I was looking for again? Because I forgot something. Then you push N and it puts the highlighting back on again. It remembers the last thing you were searching for. :NOH to turn the highlighting off. You're done. So, I mean, isn't it nice? Yeah. Type Q : for command history. You found it. Type Q for command history. For all of it, I just go to the history and go up and down. You mentioned, you should mention for search. I don't ever use that. Ringo, like, tell us about that. All right, so here we go. I mean, this streaming stuff I'm very selfishly into this streaming stuff because I learn more out of it. I tell you, everybody should stream so they can learn just as much as they're helping other people. Okay, so line breaks. Line breaks are the things that actually, help line break, if you want to look it up. Line break, what does it do? Vim wraps long lines, break at, whatever, so it sets your text width and does the actual breaking, which I don't mind, and it auto indents to the next level. You'll appreciate it once you have it in place. It actually goes up here with my text width though. I'm going to put it by here. So set line break equals, I think, is it just, yeah, there we go. I use VS Code and not Vim. Make sure you use Vim-isms. You can learn Vim. Look, no shame, man. I learned VS Code. I played with VS Code for a full year, even after I had been using Vim for many, many years to give it a shot. I even told people they should switch. Nano, if you have to use Nano, fine. Can I suggest something though? At least go try the survival guide. Try these survival tips, these VI survival tips, not the least of which is escaping. VI survive. So if you're still using Nano, just don't have any shame using the arrow keys. If you use the arrow keys in insert mode, you'd be surprised how similar VI actually is to Nano once you know how to exit. So, yeah. So that is, yeah. And believe me, I have had 9-year-olds learn VI. Once they know about the insert is just, they can use the arrow keys. It's the same as in Nano, and they just have to know how to save, and that's it. So that is, we also did the Vim tutor. So, if you go to the VI page, it does suggest some things that you look at. Do the Vim tutor. Vim tutor is fast, unless you're like 10 years old and you can't use the terminal and don't want to. Then go use openvim.com. You guys know about that. So I'll give you that one too. No remap. Yep. Butcher lines. Oh, we're running out of time. I gotta get back on this. Okay, so Nano RC. No. Go search for. Oh boy, I do not dare to watch that clip. The best thing about Nano is that all the macros are at the bottom of the TTY. Yeah. Okay. So line break. So line breaks here. And then we have short messages. This is one of those ones, it's really hard to get your head around. So I just do it. This little thing, have you ever started VI and had to say, are you okay? And push Y to keep going? So if it ever happens to you, it's really annoying. And but it avoids almost all of the hit enter messages when you start a VI. If you probably haven't encountered that if you haven't been using VI very much, but if you have, that's a really annoying thing. Someday, yeah, please do. Yeah, oh yeah, LFS, Linux from scratch. You'll write with us. We want to do it too. So line breaks. I already have line break. I already have short Vim info. Okay, so here comes the granddaddy of them all. If you stay for nothing more, listen to what I have to say about Vim info because it will save you a very, very bad day. What? That just says that's just because you accidentally started a macro. You accidentally started a macro. That's what that's about. So, and yeah, Gen 2 is almost Linux from scratch. It really is. I actually think Vanilla Arch is close enough. And I'm building a Vanilla Arch system in a VM for CTF stuff in my spare time when I'm not trying to stay ahead of you people. I use Arch in a VM, by the way. Okay, so hear me out on this one, okay? Void is good too. So Vanilla Arch is a great way to learn if you're doing it in a VM. Yeah. By the way, I use Linux. Yeah. Don't mention Manjaro in my presence ever again. Okay. So, hear me out on this. We're not going to talk about the Manjaro thing. Go back and watch any of... I almost wish you could search for Manjaro rant from Rob in any of my VODs. It's like... I must have told that story 10 times. Not today. Hear me, get it. Listen to me on this Vim info thing. It's going to save your life someday, okay? And it saved my life. Actually, I looked this up after losing about 300 lines of code. No, that's not fair. It felt like 300 lines. It's probably more like 10 lines. I use Mint, by the way. Yeah. So here's what happened. That's TLDR. Yeah. Children were crying because of Manjaro. So, that's only a little bit of an exaggeration. Vim info, what this does, and me, I was definitely crying, like tears. So Vim info equals 20, greater than 100,000. I don't even know what they mean. I just looked it up. After I deleted something, like, let me show you what happens. So I went up here and I said, okay, I'm going to delete a ton of lines, right? I'm going to do, let's see, D capital G, which deletes the whole rest of my thing. It didn't that time though. Why did it not? DG. What is going on? What is going on, people? What am I doing wrong? I'm having a moment. It did? Oh crap. Did it really? It did. There it is, on for all of you to see, a massive fail. Okay, so anyway. Yeah, so I deleted this. Yeah. And if you don't increase the size of your Vim info buffer, so long story short, Vim info is how your cut and pastes persist across files. So when I close the file, right, I can go open another file and I can type, well, this isn't my file, I don't own it because it's some sample user here, temp sample foo. Okay. So, and then all right. So let me do this again. All right, here we go. Well, no, not that one. This one. All right. So let's say I want to delete the whole file. So delete everything to G. All right. Now I'm terrified right now, so I'm immediately going to put it back. But what I'm trying to tell you is that Vim info, this is a Vim thing, and this is why Vim burned me, because in VI I would have never done this, because you can't do it. In VI, if you want to transfer a large buffer from one file to another, you have to write that out with :W or something, and write it to a file, and then :R it into the other file. All right? Well, okay, so then you open up this, and you type P and it remembers it. Okay. Now that is specifically a way to copy and paste using VI. Now there's ways around that using tmux, but they're not nearly as efficient, and you have to deal with line numbers, getting in the text and blah, blah, blah. So this is actually a really great addition from Vim. Problem is that the default buffer size is nowhere near big enough. So if you don't bump up your buffer size, one day you'll be surprised when you'll cut, like you'll go to the, like maybe you want to split your file. This is exactly what happened to me. So I had a huge file. It was like thousands of lines, and I wanted to split a good like 500 lines at the end of it, I'm pretty sure. And I did a DG and deleted all of the stuff up to the end, exited the file, which wrote the file with no backup, because I have backups off, which people will now laugh at me because I had turned off. And you know, you can automate swaps and backups and all that stuff. Anyway, so, and then I opened a new file and I went to paste it and I pushed P, and what happened? I got like 50 to, I don't even remember the default. I got 50 to 100 lines, and that was it. The rest of my paste buffer in Viminfo had been deleted permanently. And because I was working on, you know, refactoring, I hadn't done a git commit, save your ass git commit in between. So work in progress. And so what happened? I ended up with gone. The code was gone, like totally gone, not recoverable gone. And that is a bad day. So if there's one line, so if there's one line you really want in your VimRC, that is it. And I only learned about this line like 2 months ago. And it was in the middle. Actually, the reason I found out is because I was streaming and I was starting to clean up everything. And I mean, I did a lot of really cleanup of my .dot files before I started streaming. And I lost a lot of work that way. So just be careful of that. Is there a way to make your scroll faster? Yes. You want to you might want to change your keyboard repeat. If you're on Mint, you just search for a keyboard, and you can go, you can go change your key repeats. This is the same in any system at all. And by the way, did you see how fast that is? So this is how I do everything with my system. I could never find it if I had to actually navigate to it. Found this on Viminfo. Oh, what did you find? Oh my God. Wow. That's fantastic. 2N03. I'm going to put that in mine. I'm going to steal it. So where's mine? I don't have Eeks on here, do I? Over here I have it. Eeks 2N03. Oh. Eeks 2N03. I love Eeks. Eeks is my friend. All right, so I'm going to factor that into my own VimRC later. Thanks for that. Man, you're earning your VIP today, Koka Fukuda. Did I say that right? Yeah, I use J&K because I totally spam. And I abuse it. I openly admit that I abuse J&K because my Alacrity terminal is so freaking fast that I don't have to care. All of these format options, we are going to, I think we're about to that. No, where are we? Okay, short, because of Viminfo. Back to the next one. I'm supposed to take a break. You know what? I think we're going to have time to finish all this. Yeah. The rest of this, a lot of this stuff you're not even going to want. So, I'm going to take a break. I know we have a raider. We have raid though going on. So, just let me take a 4-minute break and I'll be back. And, feed around more info. I want to steal a perfect. Yeah, I don't have it. I've seen a lot of good ones though. Who was here last time? Woody. Woody has a phenomenal NeoVim RC, but too many plugins. I don't like a lot of plugins, and we're going to get to that when we get down here below to the plugin manager, which is going to take pretty much the rest of the segment. So let me just refill on the coffee, and I'll be right back. If you're visiting us from a raid, I don't, if you leave me, I understand. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here every day. VS Codium. Yeah, VS Codium is phenomenal. If you're on VS Code and you want to slowly, gradually transform. By the way, there's there's a web browser plugin called Vimium. I think it's called Vimium. It turns your navigation into VI. I downloaded Alacrity, but it sucks out of the box. Yes, and I actually have a config for it, Peter, if you would like it. Yep, just I'm 10. I'm nothing. I'm not gonna do anything significant for 10 minutes. Okay, I might still be here. I'm a noob. You can join us. Rob and Chris's stream before the raid. It was on. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. I need to do. I think it's in config Alacrity. Yeah. So here's my Alacrity config. You can. It has no comments in it. But you're welcome to take a peek at that and see what you can find in there. And do you use any suckless stuff? No, I've thought about. I need to look at the suckless stuff. I haven't. I'd like to look at that, but I haven't looked at any of that yet. Again, I'm gonna go get some coffee. I'll be right back. I'll be back if not in 10 minutes. Before, if I do come back, it's gonna be to look at my yoga posse again. Where are they? I miss my yoga posse. For some reason, I was going through like memory lane. I gotta grow my beard longer this time. I think I can do it again. It's the problem is as soon as it gets down here, it's like annoying. It starts to grate on you and stuff. Again, this is my. All right, I'll be back in a sec. Great day it is outside. Such a good day. Oh, it's such a great day outside. I might have to burn some incense. Seems like the day for it. We do need more Linux streamers. I concur. The problem with this room is it's so small, so I light a little bit of incense and it's like... because it takes over the whole room. If I was into pot smoking, which I'm not, because it makes me crazy anxiety. It's the strangest thing. When I smoke pot, it makes me insanely freak out. Yeah, it's the green. Actually, this is not. This is the. Look, I'm not promoting drug use. This is incense Twitch. In case you're watching, this is incense Twitch. Oh yeah, coffee doesn't give me anxiety. Is that strange or what? Blaze 420 Blaze. No, this is like traditional incense. I think this is the sandalwood. Yeah, this is sandalwood, but they have a juniper one too that's really good. This reminds me of the old days. I used to light incense all the time. Yeah, it's a good sandalwood. It's the pure stick stuff. There's no wood thing in there. You know what? Everybody thinks that's why people thought I was doing drugs as a kid. I was Mormon. There was no drugs in my life. Lots of other stuff, but not drugs. Anyway, magic sticks, yeah. So I would like burn incense and play Dungeons and Dragons. Of course, that's a sure path to hell, people. Dungeons and Dragons. Incense. I had personal visits from the devil, which I should talk about on another day. I'm only kind of joking about that, if you believe in the devil or whatever. Stan, as we affectionately call him in our house. Again, this is a break in case you're just joining. You're like, what is going on? I'm on a break for another 4 minutes. And then we're going to do some more Vim RC stuff. Make up for lost time. I tried that, and then I couldn't move, and I was stuck in Central Park in New York, having a massive anxiety attack because I OD'd on pot. There's the story. In case you're wondering, it is possible to OD on pot. I didn't know how big a puff to take because I've been Mormon for 42 years. My stepson's like, here's some good stuff. Oh, did I ever pay for being Mormon? The worst, frozen, couldn't speak, stuck in my brain panic attack I have ever experienced. And I didn't even know that was what it's called. Does it have a name? Because I'm like the naive Mormon that everybody would like fight over who got to do shots with for the first time. 70 pots was less intense. That might have been, dude. The person who he knew his pot. Let's just put it that way. Nothing against drugs, but I don't like cannabis. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I cured myself. I cured myself of weed. I cured myself of it because anytime I get... No, I'm not Mormon. Look, if you want to be Mormon, that's fine. I have lots of things I can tell you if you want to know why you shouldn't be Mormon. But I'm not going to slam even the Mormons. Linux cures weed. We have 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes to finish this conversation about drugs in my rated PG stream. Moral of the story, kids. If you're gonna do drugs, make sure you don't OD. How's that? How's that for a Linux cures drugs? This is a 16 plus stream. That's true. Well, you didn't have to click on anything. I removed that. I removed the whole click on the thing. So just living in New York City. I love New York City. I would live there in a heartbeat if it wasn't full of disease right now. Hey, look, somebody actually did something on Popic. I think this is a default. You found the default zeros. Good job. I put my Alacrity terminal has some stuff in there for themes that's not in the default. Yeah, certainly that OD weed can't kill you. It can't kill you, but boy, I tell you what, I wish I was dead during that. I mean, I have such vivid memories. If I even smell pot now, it causes my body to have like a visceral reaction because it remembers that negative trip. RWX Rob 2020. If you're going to do drugs, just don't OD. if you are going to do drugs, I've seen people have great big panic attacks on brownies. Then you know what I'm talking about. I've actually thought about trying the edibles. You just can't get them legally here in North Carolina. I think I could be okay with. I did. There's one other time that I did it before I was playing guitar, and it was the most awesomest creative moment I've had. I know that sounds really like hippie to say that, but I swear it was the exact amount. I know my son's in Canada right now. Actually, I would love to go to Canada. No, I'm not from Brooklyn. No, my wife is a long time New Yorker. Because it really sounds bad afterwards. You think you're good, right? It actually sucks. Is there something called a Linux musician? Is this a thing? We're over time by 1 minute. Yoga Panza, Manjaro plus pot equals hippie. Not Manjaro. Get that away. I OD'd on Manjaro just as bad as I did on pot. In a way that I will never forget. Coffee's a knife-safe drug. Don't anyone tell me otherwise. Last Miles agrees. I heard him talk about that once when he was really drunk on whiskey. About how good he was very articulate about how good coffee was for you. While he had just downed like in a whole bottle of whiskey, Kentucky whiskey. So yeah. I think it's fair to call it an OD. I do too. Coffee. See, some people can't do coffee, and you know what? You've seen me on when I get too much coffee, I get kind of overly agitated. But I don't know. Something gifted a sub because of the drug talk. So is Manjaro a bad experience? It was for me. Let's just say. I mean, I'm gonna definitely put Manjaro and pot in the same category. Tried it, not my thing, because of a bad experience. Had a bad trip on coffee? Oh, or something else. Oh yeah. Oh, Kelly, that stuff will knock you out. All right, so were Mormons in that company? Yes, they were. They weren't real Mormons. Did you guys know the creators of but we're off the chain here. The creators of South Park were Mormon when they were kids. They also made the Book of Mormon, which is another story altogether. Phenomenally awesome Broadway musical. And Zero's is like cringing crazy right now because he knows that I'm going to put the Broadway musical on if I don't start doing something else. The Book of Mormon is so epic. Z-Show causes cancer. At least we can laugh about it. See, it's better than screaming about it, right? And swearing like I did 2 days ago. Wouldn't you rather I laughed about it and compared it to cancer? I love your line of thinking, Blotosaur. I really do. That was all right. We gotta get back. This is all right. So here we go. We're among friends here. You guys know that, right? Please know that even if I directly scream at you and call you a moron, I still love you. Just know that about me. That's my generation. A lot of people in my tech generation, like Linus Torvalds himself, that's how we treated each other, and it was fine. It's not fine, obviously, but just know it doesn't mean that we think you're actually a moron or that Z-Shell is cancer. I don't actually think Z-Shell is cancer. It's somebody's work, and we should respect that, even though I think it should never have existed. They really do. I'm not a boomer. I found out I'm 2 years shy of a boomer, but I will put I aspire to be like the graybeards who taught me, and they were vegan, but they were not nice. I mean, one of them really was nice. Joey, no offense, you were awesome. One of the most stalwart human beings I've ever known on planet Earth. Anyway, what are my opinions about you, Max? Steve Jobs is vegan and not nice. You're the ultimate doomer. People keep calling me doomer. I hope that we can make doomer take off, because I love it. I'm a gloom and doomer. Gloom and doomer. That's Gen X. We just like to watch the world burn. That's a direct quote from a Saturday Night Live skit about generations. You should go watch it. Super cool. Doomer has already taken off. It's a popular meme. Seriously? Are you telling us that we so doomers, because we were playing around with the term doomer. So, but is doomer the Gen Xers? We were just playing with the term. I'm running behind. Who's the doomer? Doomers are the Gen Xers, right? Because that was when Doomer came out. Oh, a drugged boomer? Oh no, that's just disrespectful. People see gloom and doom in the future. That is our Gen X. Gen X's are doomers, I'm telling you. Bloomers, doomers and bloomers, huh. Bloomers used to be, pants, but not anymore. Doomer is a lack of faith in humanity. Oh, golly. It's already taken over. Damn it. Although it also describes most of Gen X. Because 90s was our time, as in Kurt Cobain. A teen or 20 nihilist. Oh, wow. RWX Doomer. Well, I'm not a pessimist. So anyway, Kurt Cobain is a peak doomer. That's what I'm saying, right? So he's kind of a millennial, though. I don't know. I think that generation is more of a millennial. Anyway, got to be a realist. Yep. Let's make a new meme. Anyway, loaded match paren. Not a fan of matching brackets. This is a thing that I don't like. So I think this is a part of a plugin, tell you the truth, but I'm going to add it. So, do you know what matching parens are? So matching parens are when you're editing something and you get on a parentheses and it automatically jumps to the last one for like a second and waits. I don't use Nano. I use VI. I used Nano for a full year before I used VI. I really hate that they go back and forth, and I really hate show match. So this annoys the crap out of me. Like that little pause it does every time you do like a bracket, and then it jumps to the other bracket. And you just want to keep typing. Really hate that. And then I have manual folding on, which is a different thing. Folding is something that is kind of a topic all by itself. Let me show you folding just so you can get a sense of it. So you can see no show match. Okay, so not a fan of bracket matching. And so down here, when we talk about folding, a lot of people don't like folding. You can actually turn it on by default. It's the biggest complaint I have about the Pandoc Markdown plugin is it had folding turned on by default. So I want to show you what that looks like, and you can see why I despise it. Folding is just, like twisties and VS Code. You know what a twisty is? A twisty is the term, the slang term for the little triangle that you click to expand on things. I've heard designers call it a twisty. Not the same thing as a pasty, by the way. Again, rated PG stream. I'll save that topic for tonight. Tune in later. Some people love folding. It's like you either love it or hate it. That's exactly what it is. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Why are you clipping me? All right, fine. I like cold folding. Let's start a flame war. Fight me! Let me show you why I don't like cold folding, in case you were wondering. To do this, I have to actually show you an app. I might show you my Vim Pandoc plugin. There it is, Vim. I didn't even talk to you about CD Path. I cannot wait to show you that. What is folding? Let's talk about it. So I'm going to show you some Vim script that has folding in it. If I can find it. auto load. This is part of a plugin that I kind of took over because I wanted to do it my way. There's a boomer reference for you. I am not a boomer. I just saw a lot of boomer stuff because I was right on the cusp. I refuse to claim that generation. Greedy assholes that didn't appreciate their parents. Played like they were hippies when they were young, and then all became lawyers with 2 houses. After all, I'm like, psych. That's how I view the boomer generation. I know specific examples of that, by the way. Why doesn't this work? All right, fine. So I guess folding is not on by default. There is a file in here somewhere that has folding on by default, and it's not on right now. So anyway, Vim is the best. Yes, it is. So here we go. Folding. What is it? ZF? ZF? I can't even remember. I don't use it. What it does is it like smashes everything up, and you can do it. You can actually create I'm tempted to like pull down something that has folding built into it, and show you, but I can't find it right now. I thought it was in here, but it's just not showing up for me. So I give up. I'm going to go back. We don't have a lot of time. We got to get through. We definitely have to get to the plugins. So back to that. Not worth talking about folding anymore. If you want to study folding on your own, fine. Folding is annoying. No show match. No show match. No exist. Oh, set. Duh. Set and let are not the same thing, apparently. So I have manual folding on, which means if I want to do it, then I do it. Otherwise, I don't do it. We'll come back to folding later, but just don't do it. Markdown file. ZA toggles folding. Yeah, it's a ZA and ZF, but I have nothing to fold here. That's the problem. So folding usually is about, parentheses, like matching parens and stuff like that. So unoffended bracket matching, nor folding. I'm gonna ZD. But I do sometimes turn it on. Here I am making food in the kitchen, and I hear only my speakers dissing folding, meaning it's a user preference. It is. Look, most of the stuff in my VimRC is not objectively better, and I'm just gonna say that right now. We're definitely in the area of preference. Should use VI or Emacs? Not so much a preference anymore. That really depends on what your goals are in the industry. If you use Emacs as a cybersecurity expert on multiple systems, that would be a mistake, objective mistake. Unless you're writing software to do cybersecurity, which would maybe be fine. Then you're using it like your VI, like your IDE. Anyway, just the defaults. Control-Alt-T. Just gave me a laugh when I've never heard someone not like folding to such a degree. It just gets in the way. The reason I don't like folding is because I have to unfold everything. I'm a big search guy, so when I come to a file, the first thing I do is hit slash. Every time I open a file, the first thing I hit is slash, and I'm trying to find all the stuff in that. Which is why the colon no H was like super awesome today. Thank you guys. And so I would, and then I will jump right to the thing I want. Well, if that thing is stuck in a fold, then it unopens that fold, but all the other stuff isn't there, and I can't scan through the way I can because I can't see things. So, and I don't like to have to spend the extra time to unfold everything. I'm fine with a big, massive file that I have to navigate with nothing but searches. Other people aren't, because they navigate in different ways. But I navigate using the search, so that's why my opinion is that I hate folding. Now, this thing, I spent an extremely long amount of time documenting all of these in a way that you can maybe understand. I'm not going to talk about them right here because they're so low level. I fold stuff, but I don't have it folded by default. I don't have folding on by default. And if I have folding, I want to force it to fold manually. If somebody puts folding in a file, by setting it to manual, that disables folding by symbol that might be set in a file if you open it. Okay, so anyway, here we go. These are just the defaults. These are changed in a per file by plugins. Most of the utility of all of this has been superseded by the use of modern simplified Pandoc for capturing knowledge source instead of arbitrary raw text files. So all of these format options are kind of dated, to tell you the truth. They were designed to do cool automatic things to your editing while you were doing it using default text files for the most part. And so it does things like auto wrap, it stops you at a certain place, inserts comment leaders and all of this. And these are not things that I really use. A lot of times you'll see the format options in somebody's file. And then this my VimRC, oh God, 20 years. But I still have more to, you know what's funny? The longer I've had my VimRC, the smaller it's gotten. Not the bigger, the smaller. My VimRC has gotten smaller the longer I've been using VI, because I shell out to do almost all of the filters and everything that I would have written a macro or plugin for before. So, but the format options, you usually, if you want this, I'll send these to you if you really want them. So here you go. Eeks for the win. So there's some those options if you want them. I actually commented all those out myself. This is not coming from anybody else, because I wanted to actually remember what all these really weird esoteric options are. Usually when you run into somebody's VimRC, they'll have the format options all on one line, and it'll just all be there. And the format options gets changed all the time by plugins. Plugins constantly mess with the format options. So this is something you might want to get your head around at some point. You won't die if you don't understand them. They're not that big of a deal. This little section right here, I'll send that to any different Eeks, is useful even if you don't use it, because this demonstrates how to access the environment, which is, we talked about it briefly, the variables that are set when you log in. I actually set in my bash RC, I have a little bit of code that determines what kind of, I should probably show you that now. So I have a little bit of code that determines what type of platform I'm on, and then I can switch in other code about that. And we're going to talk about environment customization a lot next week. But this little bit of code here tells you whether you're on Mac, on Win, or whatever. You can actually, I don't necessarily use these. I probably need to delete these, but this is a big one that I do use. So I'll send you this if you want. That goes, yep, there we go. So that goes in your bash RC or in your bash aliases, wherever you put it. Not officially on the week on, you can see if you go to here's my schedule. I love this new change in Twitch. You guys see this? Somebody, is it TV? Yeah. RWX/schedule. There's my schedule currently. I do sometimes, okay, so yes and no. Now you might choose to not put FreeBSD in there. If you want to change it, go for it. The first star is a riddle to me, because sometimes it's lowercase w, sometimes it's uppercase w. Don't ask me why. It just is. And sometimes it has stuff at the end. Windows reports massively different things depending on how you're using it. You gotta understand, this little thing was written to run under Cygwin and any other variant. It was not just meant to run under Linux, bash under Linux. It was meant to be. So that's a little bit. This bash RC doesn't see anything but Linux very much these days, but that's what that was originally written for. So anyway, the purpose of me showing you all of that is so you can get your head around why I have this here. And this is a way for you to change elements of your configuration based on the operating system. Now, if you have that, now you can also you could write a much more complicated Vim script that covers the conditional case statement here, which does the match for you. We're going to learn about shell scripting a lot next week. So next week is all about bash scripting. Other than Monday, which is going to be TMUX, every single day next week, I promise you, will be bash scripting. And we're going to be part 4 of the book. So make sure you read all of that as much as you can. And we're going to be doing nothing but bash scripting for at least 4 days next week. But so if you don't understand what a case statement is, we're going to cover that a lot. The book is listed at rdbx.gg/books. It's the first book. If you go to rdbx.gg/schedule, that'll tell you where we are and what we're working on. Just in case if you're just coming to the stream, I do a 16-week rotation, helping people get their feet under them as a technologist. Do you write these scripts at the problems environments arise, or do you plan for portability? Which one? Are you talking about this one here? I generally plan for portability. Lately, I have been writing. This is more of an environment question for next week. But when I write little scripts, I used to write. In fact, Zeros and Viable and others know this about me, that I wrote a lot of exported functions which are bash only, and I've since ported many of those back to scripts. They were scripts originally. Because why? Because the scripts I can write them as POSIX or bash, so that somebody on Z Shell, God help you, can actually take the script and use it if they choose to. And so I do write a lot of the scripts as I go. Every ounce of my free time on the computer is pretty much spent either writing to help people learn or messing with my dot files. So anyway, so how's it going? Here we go. So back to the vimrc. So here we go. We have a set xrc. I don't even know what that is. Let's go see. So help xrc. Let's see. Source vimrc securely allow. Oh, this is super important. This is another thing I found out that I was researching. Okay, so you can actually, you need to set secure and set xrc. Otherwise, when people start vimrc, it will actually look for a vimrc that's in the directory. Yes, this is super cool, by the way. Let me read this to you. So this is the one from environment variable or from files. So let's see. An environment variable is read as one X command, where multiple commands must separate with pipe. A file that contains initialization commands is called vimrc file. Each line in vimrc is executed as if it were an X command line. It is sometimes also referred to as xrc file. They are the same type of file, but xrc is what VI always used. Vimrc is a Vim specific name. So let's see here. Let's go see what else we got. There's a setting. I'm glad we're coming to this. I forgot all about it. So what is xrc? Vim script vimrc x set xrc. One of them lets you run Vim scripts that are detected in your directory. So if it finds a .vim script inside of the directory, it will use it, and it adds extra things. Why is set xrc dangerous? And this is important. So I actually like it, but you have to set secure. So it says if you do set RT in various places per user directory. Okay, so xrc will automatically run a .vimrc in the directory of the file you're editing. So that means you can have an extra vimrc for every directory. When normally that would be really dangerous, right? Because somebody could put it in there and you're going to edit a file and it would run extra stuff. Let's see. It has also come across that set secure, which is supposed to fix some of the inherent danger of set xrc. But even with that, the consensus seems to be not to use set xrc. I might change my mind on this one, having read that. I'm going to take those out. Because I don't use them. I mean, I don't need them. I think it's cool, but I don't need them. So, besides, why do I want Vim stuff all over the place? Right? I want it in one place. And if I want to add anything more, I can put it in my own project repo. All right, so I got rid of that. So now we know why. I guess I don't need to add that anymore. I'm glad I'm doing this review. This is good for me too. All right, so anyway, wait, which one am I editing? I'm in the wrong file. God damn it. All right, here we go. Yeah. All right, back. Here we are. All right, so, all right, so we have no, we're not going to put that in there, and I deleted mine. All right, let's go back up to where we were. All right, so here we go. Memory management. So this is important. This just so help hidden. I'm going to make it. Yeah. When off, a buffer is unloaded when it is abandoned. When on, a buffer becomes hidden when it is abandoned. Woody was telling me there's a setting that will save your paste buffers to your X. Do you remember that? I think Zeros has that. That might be something worth adding there. Otherwise, I'm going to leave hidden. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So set hidden. So that says default is off. When off, a buffer is unloaded when it is abandoned. When on, a buffer becomes hidden when it is abandoned. If the buffer is still displayed in another window, it does not become hidden. Of course, the command that moves through the buffer list sometimes makes a buffer. I put everything different buffers, do you think? Okay, let's keep that. I guess I can keep that one off. I don't need that one either. I'm glad we're going through this. Because I mean, this is kind of an opportunity for me to review mine too. Now, history, you do need to keep pretty big. Let's do that one. So I don't use registers. I've talked about that before. I don't use registers very much. History though is a big deal, and history is in, as in your X history. You know what I'm saying? So we were talking about that before. So here's how you do search. Searching strings. So I want my history to be up pretty high. So anyway, so when I'm doing history, I'm doing this. So colon, and then control P, control P. That gives me 100 things that I can save and go back to on my X, excuse me, on my X line. So I'm going to set history to 100. Set history to equal 100. Don't want it to be too big. I like hidden. It stops complaining when switching from buffer. Oh, is that what was it? Is that what it was doing? Oh, that's why I have set hidden. Thank you for that. I forgot about that. That's the reason I added it. Stops complaints about switching buffer with changes. Okay, and I'm gonna actually go ahead and copy this. Okay. Set hidden. All right, I know what I'm doing now. History is fine. Syntax. Why is syntax enable way down here? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, I know, because that's where I put my elf lord. My elf lord is like way low. Oh, no, because all this stuff is syntax. Okay, that's why. All right, so syntax is up here. I have that. File type plugin on. This file type plugin lets you use plugins. I'm almost positive of that. File type. File types. File types. Vim can detect the type of files that's being edited. This is done, so you have to have that. To enable file type detection, you have to have file type on, so you have to have that. So that's a must-have if you're going to do any kind of sensing. And I think I have it on there. Allow sensing the file type. Newbie question: all the settings that are doing today, Vim config, are those saved on my user? Yeah. Linux file hierarchy yet. We did Linux file hierarchy last couple days ago, because how do you back up your user files in case your drive crashes? It's all in Git. I did that at the beginning of the session today. If you go back and watch, it'll show you how to set up your dot files. You need to set up a dot files on GitLab or GitHub, and then synchronize that down and symbolically link it so the saves are all saved up in the cloud. That's how I do it. That's how a lot of people do it. Most people do it. Why does the new Vim 8 build in plugin manager suck? I don't like the Vim 8 built-in plugin manager, mostly because it does not mesh well with a .files cloud directory. That's the biggest reason. And it's kind of hard to get into the weeds and tell you why that is. But it certainly won't download your plugins for you. And none of the existing plugins use the architecture. That's probably the biggest reason to not do that. The existing plugin ecosystem is not Vim 8 plugins. So that's why I don't use it. So stop complaining. Let's see. Allows sensing of file type. Okay, we're going to get into the weeds here a little bit because we're going to get into plugins now. Again, this entire file is in my config. It will be the revised version will be there very soon. Why am I learning Linux through Crucitus? Yes, the schools I went to were the best in the country. Dude, I actually just wrote a whole thing on that. So if you really want to read about my complaints there, and if you want to add to the complaints, please give me your stories, your sad stories in Discord. It's called Krusty, and it goes through the absolute fails of our education system as I encounter them. So please let me know. I'm not nice in there. Anyway, this stuff here. So this is, let me tell you what this does, and then I'll send it to you. Okay. This, Krusty equals 404. Oh, I haven't saved it yet. Sorry. You have to watch for that tonight. I'm trying to get better at not doing like 10 commits a day. So I apologize. That will be there by tomorrow. So I'm sorry. I forgot all about that. Yeah, it's everywhere. It's worldwide. It's a worldwide problem. Let's not talk about that for today. We got 15 minutes, 20 minutes left. All right. So what does this gobbledygook do? Okay. I'm going to send this to you. What this does is super cool. This will grab and download the plugin manager and install it. Yeah, it auto installs. So here you go. I'm going to send you it in Eeks. So if you want to put that section in, there it is. And then back to the color schemes, we already did that. And then here, this is super important. This next section here. And I really want to talk about this. Set default clipboard X11 is set clipboard equals unnamed plus, but it works only if you have Vim full version. Oh, you have to get Vim GTK. Interesting. Somebody was talking about that the other day too. I think I might actually do that at some point. I don't know if I need to do that yet. Did you copy and paste over SSH? Yes, it's pretty great. Okay, it's currently installing a new SSD. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, you guys watch Akari. He's done some amazing things with virtual machine. Oh my God. The most amazing magic I've ever seen with a virtual machine on Linux. He was playing Assassin's Creed on his Linux box the other day. It was crazy cool. All right, so let's talk about plugins. We're almost done. I should not eat in your ear. I apologize. He really is. I've never seen anybody that understands Vim better than Zakari in my whole professional life. If file readable, expand. Yeah. Well. So, what is this about? This says if this file exists. And by the way, this little line 100 is gold all by itself, and I got it from somebody else. What this is basically, if you do bash, it's like dash X or dash E or dash R thing. Does it exist? So this says, do I have a file that lives in .vim autoload plug.vim? If it does have that, that means that there is a plugin and that the plugin manager has been loaded. And it only runs these lines of code if the plugin manager is there. Why do you care? Okay, so for many years, and many other people have this, they have all their plug stuff without an if statement. What happens when they copy their vimrc to another file that they're working, to another system they're working on, like I did the other week with Minecraft? They get a bunch of like errors, like crazy errors. So what you do, so there's two things that happen here. The first thing is these if statements attempt, these questions right here, these lines right here, attempt to install the plugin manager. If you have internet access and write access to the machine, this will work. This will, and you'll see the installation, and it'll run through when you first run Vim for the very first time. If you cannot, if it fails, it quietly fails and goes, okay, well, it'll try it, and you'll get those errors. But when it fails, then this stuff doesn't even run. So it skips it. It doesn't even try to do the plugin stuff and all of these settings for the plugins. It skips it, and it does the things that I still want to keep. In this case, this is a backup if the plugin fails. So this is a way to format Go code if I happen to be using it and I don't have my plugin. So I don't often see this in a VimRC, and I just really want to plug it to the rest of you. No pun intended. Because, this is telling you what's up. This is telling you I want these plugins. I don't have very many. And if you don't have plugins, you don't die. You don't get these big ugly errors. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted, this actually doesn't belong in here. Line 119 does not belong in here anymore, but I do want to talk about it. And the stuff that's the rest of the stuff that's in my VimRC, most of it is serious customizations at this point. Everything that we've done up to now is kind of necessary for you to use your Vim and not go crazy. The rest of the stuff is all like extra customizations. So here we go. We have ProPy. Yep. And what this does, this is just an example. These are automatic commands that are executed on certain events. And there are tons and tons of events. This is the coolest thing about VI. So if you know JavaScript coding, you know about, events happen, right? It's you have an event happen and then you have a callback. Well, that's what these auto commands are. They are callbacks for events. And so not only that, but they're callbacks for events that happen on specific file types. And that's what's going on here. So it says, if this event happens and the file ends in .md, perform this shell function on the file. And what this does, it just replaces any blank markdown link with a temporary link that sends you to search DuckDuckGo with the content of the text of the link. That's what that's about. That's what that regular expression is about. Again, we have another one here. So this says, if I am leaving, if I'm closing out my editor, if I'm closing out my editor and the type of file ends in .go, run it through the Go formatter, and then the file will have its tabs and everything that it's supposed to have. And this is happening conditionally if the Fativ Vimgo fails, which does it automatically in real time. So that's what's going down. And then down here you have a bunch of other. So I just want to show you all of the really cool things that you can add. This line, my 119 line, actually belongs in my Pandoc plugin. I just need to figure out a place to put it. But for right now, it just lives here. Anyway, so we have omni-completion going on. This is, I don't even know what this is. This has something to do with something else. I have a feeling this is, I have a feeling that this is part of the, I honestly don't know. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look it up. I think it might be having something to do with one of the plugins. I don't know. I think this is the thing that allows you to hit the keys to do completion. I think this was me trying to open my mind. Is that what it is? Because I don't do omni-completion usually. Anyway, I think this is me trying to give completion a shot. I'm generally not a sort of IntelliSense fan, and Vim does have that, but I don't generally use it. Because I can search so fast with links. I have a pane open and in my same window, and I switch the pane and search over there to get my answers rather than use IntelliSense to answer my questions about syntax and stuff, and to do completion or something. Anyway, so that's just my style. Buff new. So this is anytime. This is the standard way to remap a file type. So you're going to have I don't know if you guys want some of these. These are useful. I used to have bash resetting to shell. I don't need that anymore. But these are useful. So these are helping you set the file type for things that are not automatically detected. So I want my cron tab to be detected as file type cron tab. That's something I have in my bash RC. I want my SSH config to be an SSH config, no matter where it is. And that's because why? Because I'm putting it in my doc files directory, and so there's no dot in front of it or something. So for that reason, I want to make these things so that they have the same syntax highlighting, even if they're not in their most expected places. As ways, yes. Okay, so let's see. The rest of these display all the syntax rules for the current position. This is a debugger technique. I don't know if any of you really care. What this does for me is it shows me the actual syntax of the current command. So I'm using F2. You see my list down here? It shows me that at this current location, the following syntax rules apply: vim func body, vim operand parent, vim string. And so this function right here is specifically for writing vim syntax plugins. So like if I am over here and I want it, well, what kind of thing am I on? So I know what kind of thing to change the color for. I can say, okay, I'm in a vim auto event list, and it's also a vim auto event. So this is a way of detecting what type of thing it is that you're on. So then you can decide how to color the thing. It's kind of an esoteric, deep thing. Not a lot of people want it. I, however, find it as an essential when I'm doing my little Vim plugin writing. I'm trying to send it to you. I don't know if you'd want it. But if you do, for some reason, you can add that part. Oopsie. Eeks. We're running close on time, but we're doing good. Okay, so this is pretty much a mandatory thing. So definitely put these 2 lines. And this, if you don't have this, you will go crazy. I guarantee it. This opens up the editor and remembers where you were. And if you shut files and reopen them as much as I do, that is an absolute must. In fact, the one thing that I hate the most about using regular VI above everything else probably is this. Has a small R buffer and not sure it will run an error on you. Line 128 has what? Buff read. Did I do that on accident? That might have been. Yep. Thanks for that. After shutdown, after everything. Yeah. It actually writes it somewhere, and I don't know where. I don't even know what this does, but it does write the line number and store it. So that's super valuable, because when you open a file, one of the most annoying things is not knowing what line you're on. So, you'll be like in line 800, you'll be in the middle of editing, and you'll shut the file down and go do something else and reopen the line. And I open and shut files all the time. That's not everybody's style. It might actually do it by itself. That might be old, but I've never removed it. Pane switching. So if you do happen to have panes, and there have been times when I have been stuck with panes open, and I've had to use panes. I actually have this so that I navigate my panes using the VI keys, rather than no. Vim starts at line 1 by default. Does it? Okay. So yeah. Function keys. So the function keys are my personal set of function keys. I have line numbering as F1. I don't use function keys very much. So you see this? So you can set, some people do relative there. If you're started by default, that might be a good thing. You know what? You might have your defaults still set, Lakshan. I think you might have your defaults. If you have your defaults on, I remember how I disabled defaults at the beginning. I think that's why I had to add mine. I don't know though. It might be if it is by default built in. I need to know that, so I'll work on that. I have not defaults. Okay. Cache equals none for Windows VMs. Cache equal add cache. Cache equals none. Where did you put that? Oh, right. Okay, so here we go. So SynStack, I already told you about the SynStack thing. I don't know that you want that. Paste toggle, this is a big one. So here, let me show you what happens when you don't have paste toggle on. Okay, so if you're editing a file, so let's say I go over here and I copy, I mean, this is not, you would never do this, but let's say I just copy all these lines, right? And I'm using my mouse and everything. And I'm going to go edit this file. Temp foo. All right, now watch. If I paste it with auto indent on, watch what happens. Nothing happens. Because it's not. I need to find some other code that has indentation. That's nothing happened because it's not indented, so it doesn't matter. I have to find some code that's indented. Where is some code that's indented? Get your CSS file. There we go. Yeah. I have to manufacture a situation here. Let me just Alacrity. Oh God, yes. There we go. That's a good one. Let's do that. So vi temp slash dot. Almost. I'll finish up, guys. We're gonna be fine on time. So let's say I indent. Let's like copy this here. Let's see what happens. Actually, I don't know if that's gonna work because of the set no new nanu. Set no new. Set no new. There. And then I can copy. So basically, if you have tabs in there, I don't even think this is going to give me a problem because I have the setting on. So let's try this. So insert, paste. Nope, it did it fine. That's weird. Anyway, I think my auto indent must not be working. Point of the matter is, you oftentimes when you're pasting, anytime you paste something and it auto indents and gets really crazy, it's usually because you need to do set paste. And when you go into paste mode, when you go to do an insert, you see down here it says insert paste mode. Paste mode will turn off auto indentation and all this other stuff that will make your code just go crazy. Okay, so what I have, that's what paste toggle is. So paste toggle just turns paste on and off, and I have it set to an F key. It's a little bit easier. It's harder to hit F keys. I just set paste usually all the time from the command line. It's so easy to type. I do set paste and I do set list all the time because I've been doing it forever. Set no list. Anyway, so I do the same thing with F4. So that's F4. Boom, 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 boom. I have a cursor line, which is annoying. Some people really love it. Cursor line just tells you what line you're on. That's actually in solarized mode. That's pretty nice, but it's not good. It's not really. I don't like it in other stuff. And what else we got? Set spelling. So if you're getting annoyed by spelling check, that's like because a file is giving you spell checking stuff. You can check on that. And I have indent, which I never use these F keys. I just have them. Which Pandoc plugin, I extended my Pandoc plugin. So if you go to RWX, if you go to my config, which is gitlab.com/RWXrob / whatever, you'll see my Vim plugin in there. It's in here, right here. Here's the path to it. I use my own because the Vim Pandoc plugin does not have smart parentheses and a bunch of stuff, so I added it, and then they gave me crap about it in the commit, and I just said fine, and I forked it, and I plan on putting a bunch of other stuff in there. I actually also changed the formatting, and they say formatting doesn't belong in this plugin, and I'm like, you know what, fork you. Which is exactly what I did, and I plan on adding more things that I'm sure they wouldn't allow, but I don't care. Yeah, seeing a paragraph sign. Yeah, I use a completely different thing. Anyway, so these I strongly encourage you to at least give a try. So these will force you to use the arrow keys. So if you want to cure yourself, if you want to cure yourself of your arrow key habit, put those in there. That blocks you from using your arrow keys. So, which is great. And then the last thing but least, I have, I'm doing these all individually. I have my loading of my own private run stuff. And this stuff is, you can't see it because this stuff here is designed to resource stuff that I personally have that I don't want to make a part of my public dot files. So that's what that's about. All right. That is it. Wow, look at that. Right at 2. I could not have planned that better. I'm actually going to go ahead. Does anybody have any questions so far about any of this? I'm going to go ahead and commit this. If you want my final version of this, you can VimRC updates. You can go to this site right here and go find it. It's under my common directory. I think somebody already pasted it, but and then you can go find my other dot files in there. You're not experts, but you keep working at it. This was a great week. Thank you. We're going to keep it up. I may or may not be online tonight and later. My save script. You want my save script? Okay. There you go. There's my save script. Nothing fancy. It just saves me from all of the random gitness that you have to do. Alias function. For what? Save? Oh, save is save. I used to have save as an alias. No. Oh, you want give? Give is just oh, let me see. There's give. Give uses eeks. All it does is it calls which on the program and then gives it to you. Give. Yeah, I could actually do that. Give. There you go. Give eeks. There you go. It's all in my config, so if you want to go get them, you can. Yeah, gives a little stream. That goes back to my Mormon primary days. Give. We shall end with a yoga picture because I'm going to go do yoga. There they are, my happy family. It's my happy yoga family. Lived with these people, literally 8 of them anyway, in the Namaste house in Asheville, North Carolina for a full 40 days. And I miss them. I'm going to go do some yoga in their honor. And I'm going to grow my beard longer next time. What's her face? What's her face? I can't remember. Betsy, I think. She was like, you know how you'd be much more attractive if you cut your beard. And I'm like, forget it. I'm talking about yoga. Are you here? We're talking about yoga.
I ask you if you want me to heat up the Indian food.
Yes, I do.
Soup, or want some of the fresh coffee I made.
I want all of the above, but I'm going to go do yoga right now. I'm just saying goodbye to my stream here. They have like put up with us here, and I was just reminded about the yoga thing here. Oh, I cleared you guys. I'm sorry, I cleared the chat record. Now I can't even see. All right, who are we? Spoiled Rotten. What are you doing? Come here. I'm coming. I'm saying goodbye. We have to raid somebody.
He's absolutely spoiled rotten. Yes.
Yeah, I won't
Guilty
deny it.
as charged.
I'm not gonna deny it. Come here.
What?
I'm gonna do yoga. Yeah.
Wait, I'm all dirty. I got clay all over me.
I know, because you're
Put
art
it
girl.
all over you.
Who are you raiding? I haven't raided Primigian for how do I say his name? All right, she ran away. I gotta hurry and raid so I can go do my yoga and eat and do pottery. Yes. Who Primigian? All right, here we go. I follow you, Zeros. Yes, I'm going to be posting the videos to YouTube. I had some people complaining. All right, guys. We'll see you possibly later this week. Definitely on Sunday morning. If you're going to go to Mentoring Coffee, Sunday morning at noon, not 11. All right. We're going to raid. This will take a little while. Did the raid take? And Make sure the raid takes. Is it great? It is not. Is it Memorial Day weekend? Is it seriously? Thanks for that. Is it Memorial Day and I didn't know? Grew my Vim RC a lot. Let's see. Is it Doris? It's Memorial Day.
Oh right.
It's Memorial Day. We didn't even know that. No wonder I feel so festive.
Like that.
What?
I keep seeing things like that about holidays.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Don't swear on the stream. This is the PG stream.
I'm so sorry.
You can swear tonight if I'm on the stream.
Okay.
I think we're done. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect. See you later. You guys, if your raid doesn't go through, sorry, but it should. If not, go visit Primedian or any of the other great streamers. He felt festive because he is discussing Vim. This is true. Twitch, stop. Bye. See you.